Oh, shit's already 5:40. People be mad. They'd be like, "Damn it, what's taking them so long?" Let's see.
You on that CP time?
Oh yeah, here we go. We got the judge. What's
Man.
going on, Judge?
What's going on, fellas? I'm good, man.
What's good, brother?
What's up?
I'm
What's
all
up?
right. I'm all right.
How's everything, my brother? All right,
Man, well, corporate America is a bunch of Homer Simpsons. I'll leave it at that.
Oh man. Oh man. Listen, we're gonna be in this ride for 4 years. Enjoy the ride.
Oh,
All right? Enjoy the ride. Enjoy the ride for the next 4 years. All right. All right. What's going on? We live? I think we live. Here we go. Welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. Your only friend these YouTube streets, PlayStation77. We are back with episode 317 of 60 Frames No Like Podcast with the crew, right? Of course, going around the horn. We're gonna kick it off with Craig Harris.
Hey.
Nigga, I'm a stay.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. Been playing Stellar Blade.
On that pro, right?
Game. Yeah, on that pro, and Eve's a pro, and I'm getting better using her, and being able to move around the board a little bit. There's some things I still don't care for, but overall, I'm really enjoying the game. But
using that pro to stare at her butt cheeks. That's what you're doing.
Well, yeah, you almost can't help that.
Yeah, you really can't help it. It's like blatantly in your face. It's like blatantly. Some of them outfits, I'm like, whoa. Like this.
Yeah, I found another one, man. It just, oh man, I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. They put this in a game, but yeah, overall, a fun game. But I appreciate being here. Shout out to everybody that's here now. Tonight, because there was somebody in the chat early, asking to tone down some of the language.
I saw that, man.
I declared cheek amnesty night, so there will be no cheek busting tonight.
Oh,
and so that because he
putting
sounds
away
like
the Diddy oil, no Diddy oil for this podcast.
This is orange juice, so everybody knows. But well, we'll go ahead and tone it down for one night. It's February, being Black History Month. We'll tone it down tonight.
There we go. Enjoy it, because this might be the last time. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm gonna make it to Hispanic Heritage Month. I think they're gonna take that away. Oh man. So enjoy it.
Appreciate that.
That shout out. That's we're gonna try to show Kevin Levy some love. He says, "Love your podcast, please. No profanities." All right, we're gonna do our best. Kevin. We're gonna do our best for you. All right, no Diddy oil. There'll be no Diddy oil today. All right,
we got rid of
the Diddy oil behind. All right, and then of course we got the antagonizer in chief, J-Dub.
Boy, y'all know what time it is. What's good?
All right, my brother. How's everything, man? What you been up to?
Can't complain, man. Everything's good, man. I see everybody out here fighting the ghost of Jim Ryan's past. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he's gonna get this
digging digging all the skeletons out of his closet. You know what I'm saying? That man can't even.
He's out Donnie D. He's out Donnie D. He's out Donnie D.
No, he's not.
He's out Donnie D. He's out little by little. We got some snake oil. He's out Donnie D. He out Donnie D.
I gotta
defend. See it.
I gotta be on the other side and defend my brother. I got Jim Ryan today. You know what I'm saying? Oh man!
Come to find out,
I'll be defending him too. I'll be defending him too.
Yoshida out here like I didn't have a choice. Either take indies or hit the road.
Isn't that what Darth Vader said?
He told Yoshida, get back in the kitchen.
Because she was like, I didn't have a choice. It was either do indies or I'm out. So I said, I'll do indies. Oh man, you know what I'm saying? Oh man. And then they have the nerve to make a cookie out of them. Screw them cookies. Screw them cookies. Screw them.
Jim Ryan's
man, if I was Yoshida, I would throw that cookie right back at him. Take your damn cookie out of here. All right, my brother. All right, and then we got the judge. Yo, Judge, Brain. What's going on, my brother?
Yo, what's going on, everyone? I'm good. You know what? I started playing. I finally got around to playing Wukong, and to me, Wukong graphically on a pro, that's probably the best looking game this generation to me, hands down.
That's what's
really.
Up. That's what's up.
Yeah,
that PS5 exclusive.
Yeah, yeah.
Brought to you
said
by Jim Ryan.
man.
Brought to you by Jim Ryan.
Jim
You
Ryan,
know what I'm saying? That was part of Jim Ryan.
That was part of the indie development. That was part of
I know
Chinese.
that
That was China Hero.
man.
That was a China Hero thing.
Oh man, somebody wrote
Jim
off
Ryan
on it
did
though.
it.
Oh man.
Oh man.
See, if Jim Ryan wouldn't have demoted your shit to indie, we would have never got the Black Myth Wukong.
Listen. We're gonna figure out. We're gonna see what Jim Ryan did for us. He came in 2019. I'm gonna be like Z. What games have Jim Ryan gives? You know how he goes when Jeezy goes, what games we got from Phil? What games? And they'll be like, oh, we got Rice. That's this guy. That's this guy. Yeah. What game? I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna be in my bag like Z. I need some cough medicine. I need some cough medicine.
There you go.
And some Percocets.
Facts.
Oh man. All right. So shout out to Brain. Thank you so much for coming through. We're gonna have a good time today. I think this is a pretty good day, man. I feel good. I don't know about you guys. I feel good, man. It's like, the war's over. Now it's just like mop up duty. That's really what's just going on. There's a lot of mop up.
Come home, duty. Rambo. Rambo can come. It's coming. It's come home. We're gonna have our victory thing. I say, sometime next week.
We're gonna have to do like a barbecue or some shit. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Man, I already messed it up. My bad, Kevin. Damn, already messed up. Not even an hour, bro. Kevin's like, oh my god, but we got I don't know, have a ticker tape parade because it's like I feel good because right now I'm just looking at mop up duty. I'm like, listen, pack it up, people. Collect your VA claims. You got your discharge orders. Your service is no longer rendered.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all saw Mighty Keith's video? It was one of his shortest.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
That is hilarious. He's like, your roadmap. It's my roadmap.
Yeah. I finally found that meme that says your games are mine. I'll be unleashing that for next week. Oh man, that's just so funny. That ready to go.
He's like, "Where's your first party production?" Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
What happened to the Tech Council games? Don't worry about that. Yo, Keith is hilarious, bro. I don't know. He comes, he's good at that stuff, man. Because that's hilarious. He's like, don't worry about that. What about the Tech Council games? Don't worry about that. He goes, I can't make games. He goes, I don't got time to make games when I'm too busy taking yours.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm like, yo.
Sound like me out there. That sound like me
hilarious.
out there.
Yo, shout out to Keith, man. That's just hilarious. All
that
right,
was
man.
pretty funny, yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. All right, man. What games y'all playing?
Me, Stella Blade, college football.
All right, we got Stella Blade. How about you, J-Dub?
I just got through trying out a Vow, you know what I'm saying, before I shit on it. I want to make sure it was double dog shit and I was right. It was double.
Man, is that approved? Shit, man, remember, this is a PlayStation game. You can't give it Xbox tag.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the thing for The Rock.
This is our roadmap,
right?
This is our roadmap.
The struck comes because I know it's going to be 120 frames and 8K 60 on the Pro. It's all shit now. You know what I'm saying?
You're missing the frames. You're missing the DualSense. You're missing the 3D pulse. You're missing the PSSR. So,
instant loading, all that. I'm missing, but guess what?
So, I'm
gonna give it a 6 out of 10 right now. And by the time it comes to the Pro, I'll be able to give it a 10
9 out of 10. Game of the year. It's game of the year.
Yeah. I'm gonna knock it for not having all the other features. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta let it cook. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's just cooking. It's just cooking on Xbox right now. Soon we'll get the DualSense. You know what I'm saying? We'll get the PS5 enhanced.
The ray tracing, the advanced ray tracing.
Better frames options. So you gotta let it cook. Can't be too hard. No more Xbox tax.
The VR mode.
There you go. These are PlayStation games now, so we gotta treat it gently. Give them time.
Hey, Porter Rock, you remember we used to do this some years back, man? We used to tease these bots like that, and they used to pull guns out on you and shit.
Oh, my God,
Porter Rock. They used to pull guns. I always pull guns out on USV, man.
God,
some kind of, you know what I'm saying? That shit's crazy. That E-Rock dude. It was quite a few. I still got the videos. Man.
I wish. I think
you
guns out.
I got the clips, man. I'm gonna send them to you. I'm gonna send them to you.
Yeah, put them again. I'll show it to everybody. Hey, Kevin, it's not us cursing. To be fair, we're not the ones about to say profanity. This is a clip. These are people coming after me. You know what I'm saying? Like whoa, let me remind y'all. Yo, listen, man, I'm not safe. You know, I'm the only friend in these YouTube streets, but I'm not safe in these streets. These dudes are coming after me. If they see me, I think they will inflict harm.
Yeah.
Over video games.
That shit used to be hilarious, bro.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Let me see. You know, if you they're just dangerous. They're absolutely dangerous. Oh man. Let me see. Let me know when if you have it up there. If you put it in the chat. You know,
yeah, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna put them in our DM so you can get them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, going walking down. Ooh.
Let's see.
Danny Trail's gonna be there.
Yeah, what else been going on, man?
So I said me. So right now, I beat Silent Hill 2. Good game. Highly recommend that y'all play it. You know, anyway, it's real good. If you like that type of games, right? They did a real good job with the blooper team. They're getting better. They are absolutely getting better at their craft. Being the horror studio, so you could tell progressively, you know, from Blair Witch to Medium to now Silent Hill. They're getting better with gameplay mechanics. I mean, granted, this is a remake, so they have a blueprint already, but they didn't mess it up. They did a good job with the Silent Hill. They did a really good job. And I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? So Blooper Team's on the come up. I think they're getting better and better and better. I hope they're more successful, man. With their horror specific angle and stuff like that. Now I decided to say, you know what? Let me go in the backlog real quick, and I say, you know what? I'm gonna play Ghostwire Tokyo.
Still didn't hit with you, huh?
Oh man, you know it's rough. And you know,
I tried a million times. I just
couldn't. I'm like, oh man, this is like, ooh, it makes me wonder. Like, Sony really got a time deal with this game? I'm like, what?
And they were trying to get Starfield at that time.
I'm like, man,
yeah.
I mean, it's all right. I'm like, I'm chugging through it. I'm like, maybe it'll get better as I develop with more powers and stuff like that. But I'm like, it's a bit repetitive. It's a lot repetitive. It's really repetitive. Like, it's like, I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna stick through it.
It's acquired taste. It takes acquired taste.
So, yeah. You know, the story ain't really catching me either. You know, at least if it had that, story ain't really hitting that they did for that. Gameplay's really basic. You know, so I'm like,
even with ray tracing and all that, it didn't do anything for the game. That shit was just boring, man.
Does it have ray tracing? I don't know. I'm like, graphically,
it
doesn't really look all that great either. Oh yeah, it does. It does have ray tracing. Yes, it does. Not sure, but anyway. We got Extreme. What's going on, my brother from down under?
Sorry about the delay, guys. Just had to fix the camera stuff.
Absolutely, gotta make it look crisp. I mean, you did pay $18,000 for it. You gotta get sun out of it.
I mean, listen, I may as well, right? I may as well.
Gotta do the crispness, right? You can see the pores on Extreme's forehead. That's incredible.
Listen, man. Listen, you can see the frustration. That's what you can see. That's what it is. You know, how is it that sometimes the most expensive things just function the dumbest? You know, you're just like wow.
Like it should just work. Like, why? Like, you're too expensive to make me go through this.
You know, I've heard people say that, you know, at this level of professionalism, they expect you to know how to use it. I'm like, could they make it easy though? You know, like,
plug and play.
It's almost like that. Like, since you were so ready
it could still be plug and play. You know, it could still be.
I'm telling you. I'm just like, there's just a few things where I'm like, but you could have just, you know, done this and it would have been perfect. And, you know, it's obvious though. It's like very obvious because everybody that sees it is like, oh, you should have done that. Oh, well, here we go. So anyways, that's my frustration of the day. How you guys?
We're all chilling here.
Doing fine, Doing fine.
Yeah, no expensive gear to piss you off?
Not right now.
All right, well, there we go. You know, that's crazy.
People was another.
Oh, what's the topic? What were you guys talking about?
Oh, no, we're just chit-chatting right now. We haven't started yet, so now we're about to in a few. But first, to everybody, thank you so much for rocking out with us. I hope you get to enjoy this episode. If you can, hit the like button and share this out. We're going to start hitting up the first topic. So the first topic, why Jim Ryan demoted my boy Shuhei Yoshida. You know what I'm saying? I will never forgive him for this. I swear to God, if I see Jim Ryan in the street, I'm gonna catch him, bro. I'm gonna catch him slipping. Nah, but but let's talk about this. So this came off from another interview with Yoshida. Yoshida looking back at 31 years. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but I'm just gonna read some snippets. Starting right here. He joined Sony in 1986, right out of college. Went to work in corporate strategy to review budgets and look for new businesses for Sony. At the time, Ken Kutaragi, seeking revenge against Nintendo after it reneged on an agreement to work with Sony on a game console, pitched and won approval for creating the Sony PlayStation.
So, do you want to put it on the screen?
I mean, it's just words, but I can.
Some people actually read.
Really? But, I mean, is the words big enough? All right. Is it big enough? Okay.
There you go. It's big enough.
He joined Sony in 1980. Yeah, there you go. At the time, Ken Kutaragi seeking revenge against Nintendo. Oh, I love it. See, that's the energy we need. We need people like samurai warriors. You know what I'm saying? I really want PlayStation to go to war with. I want PlayStation to go to war against PC, man. Stop this kumbaya. Take them PC gamers. Pillage the village. You know what I'm saying? I mean, most of them guys don't got 4090s. They're on their 2050s. That's easy. That's slim pickings. You know what I'm saying? That's like attacking Ukraine. We got this. Let's get them guys.
But then people are gonna be people are gonna claim it's a monopoly. It's a monopoly.
You should have picked a different country there.
I'm gonna get
you should have said Yemen or Syria or Libya or Algeria or the Congo or any other country that America has invaded or attacked or had a coup in recently.
I should have canonized. I should have said Canada. That's what I should have said. Canada and Australia.
Exactly. Those are the easiest. The first state.
At the time, Ken Kutaragi seeking revenge against Nintendo after he reneged on an agreement to work with Sony on a game console, pitched and won approval for creating the Sony PlayStation. Yoshida didn't believe Kutaragi could pull off his plan to do workstation level 3D graphics on a $500 game console. But his former boss urged Yoshida to join, and he took the plunge into the unknown. Yoshida became one of the first 80 people working on the PlayStation. The system debuted in December 1994 in Japan and in 95 in the US. It turned out to be a huge hit, and Yoshida had to create a deck to impress Kutaragi's bosses. Some viewed the PlayStation as a toy that would tarnish the Sony brand. Yoshida pitched the PlayStation as the world's first virtual reality system. Once Sony moved forward, Yoshida had to convince Japanese game developer publishers to make games for the system. You know,
can we just take a step to appreciate when people say that, the PlayStation 1 succeeded because Sony had all this money and they came in and everything. And I always tell them they didn't give a fuck about the PlayStation.
That's true.
They didn't have Sony's back.
Hey, we can't curse. We can't curse. We gotta tone down. You know, we got a super chat. Kevin Levy said, "Love your podcast. Please, no profanities." So we're gonna try to keep this PG-13. Let's see how good we do.
I'm declared cheap amnesty.
Yeah. So today no Diddy oil.
Yeah.
Pause.
Oh,
All the way from down under.
Gotta leave the Diddy oil on the shelf for today. Anyway, what are you gonna say, Extreme?
No, I was just going to say that PlayStation never had that backing from Sony that people keep, fantasizing that they did.
All right, okay, yeah, that's true, man. It's like because it's a new thing. It's true. It wasn't like all in, put all resources into this one brand, especially during the time Sony was really big in music, movies, all that other stuff. Yeah, this who would have thought that PlayStation would one day be the main actor, would be the star of the show? Crazy.
Shit, who would have thought that video games would be worth more than movies and music combined?
That's true.
Like, forget about which device was going to be there. People thought the sector was always going to be like Fisher Price tablets,
You're right. That is true, man. Gaming really took over. Wow. Pretty true. Good point. As the PlayStation succeeded, Yoshida climbed up the ranks, moving to the U.S. and becoming a vice president of Sony Computer Entertainment. He became president of Sony Computer Entertainment Worldwide Studios in 2008 after Phil Harrison left to run Atari. In 2019, as Jim Ryan became the head of PlayStation Business, Yoshida stepped down from that role and became head of PlayStation Indies in 2019. Of that move, he said he had no choice. It was taking that indie job or leave the company. In 2023, he received a BAFTA fellowship for his work. All right.
Yeah.
So, Yoshida.
I got to go first.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
Because this is not difficult. Look at the games that we got. No Man's Sky. We got, which has turned out to be brilliant. The game I'm playing now, Stellar Blade, that's an indie. That's a small company that they discovered through the shoe. And people don't understand. Firstly, this story is like 3 years old, okay? Or maybe older. But I like how Jim Ryan pulled a Don Corleone. I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse. Or like I compared it to what Darth Vader said to Lando Calrissian. Perhaps you feel you're being treated unfairly. At the end of the day, it's corporate world. Sony, what people don't realize corporate-wise is that under Herman Holtz and Jim Ryan, their mandate was to get control of Europe, like take Europe. And they pretty much have done a good job of booting their competition, which is Microsoft. They have done a really good job of just booting them out. We've seen how they're pulling back on shipments. That's all been reported. That's not fanboying. You can go to any business, wherever, CNBC, Fox Business, you can pull this on up. Jason Schreier's written articles about it. But ultimately, they had a Western, Jim Ryan and Herman Holtz had a Western influence. They had a Western influence. What they have done with their restructuring, now it's much more Japanese. And it makes sense. So, I don't have an issue with this at all because this happens. It's unfortunate. And Shu, to his credit, he took it and he ran with it. And we've gotten some really impressive independent titles of the aforenamed No Man's Sky and Stellar Blade. It's those are indies. Those are small indies. I still remember Shu, I think, taking a picture with was it Sean Murray that did No Man's Sky? Yeah. So again, I just think that it's overblown, especially by a group of people who've seen their whole world come crashing down after Forza popped up on the dream list or wish list on the PlayStation. That's when all this stuff started happening. All this, the angst, the anger, the Sony's failing, even though we got their numbers. In Puerto Rocky broke their numbers down. It's like, I had people in my thread today saying Sony's ruined. I'm like, how? Record profits? Is that, you call that ruin? So at the end of the day, it's business. It's not personal. You got a bunch of simps running around the PlayStation community and the PC community, of course. So it's business. Like Nino Brown said, my brother, it's always business and never personal. And I backed the move. And the Shu did his thing. He took it and he what is the saying? He turned lemons into lemonade. And every gamer that Sony has had. So if you play Stellar Blade, Shuhei. If you play No Man's Sky, Shu. There's other games as well. But those are the two that pop out to me. I've enjoyed both those games on PlayStation 4 and now PS respectively. So that's all I got to say about it. I back Jim Ryan's power move. When a new coach comes in, other coaches gotta go, maybe get a back seat. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows it. So it is what it is. It was business though. It wasn't personal.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll go. Well, there's the here's the thing, right? One of the main articles that actually had the interview kind of brought context to it. Of course, context isn't what do you call it? It isn't spicy enough. You know how it is. You gotta make things spicy. You gotta remove context for some so everybody can put their own flavor in there, their own rage and anger. But here's the thing. If me and you are looking for a position or someone from our board or someone up our boss select me for a position over you, then guess what? There's only room for one job. And so I'm the boss. If I'm the boss, I'm not going to have you right there, by me or something. I'm going to tell you, hey, listen, go do this over here. Go somewhere further and go do something. But you ain't going to be under me trying to trying to take my position. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it how that was, but the original context was it. He didn't say it how obviously this article was saying, but it was basically saying that since Jim Ryan had the position and he had his vision of how he was going to do things, and people know position, Yoshida's position was basically there was kind of like no room for that position anymore. So it's like, hey, we need you to kind of go take care of the indie stuff. And he said, okay, I'll go do it. And he did it, and he did it well. He brought us some of the greatest bangers that we like your Stellar Blades and all that. The Returnal, all that stuff like that is because of Shuhei Yoshida. Love the guy. Fortunately, I was able to meet him at PlayStation Experience some years back. And a great guy. But I think I look at it twofold. I look at it like this. I know people don't like Jim Ryan, but first, let me say this. I've always said this. The difference between the PlayStation guys and the Xbox guys is Xbox guys, they actually care about the executives. PlayStation gamers care about their exclusives and their IPs and their studios. That's where the focus is, right? So that I mean, for example, those guys worship Phil Spencer. They worship all of those people. That's what they do. Their focus is not about the games. It's not about the studios. They care about the person. PlayStation, historically, I don't care who is. I don't care if it's Yoshida, Jim Ryan, anybody else that I don't know. We didn't even know the damn CFO's name, right? We didn't know that until the article wrote it. Hey, this guy here is taking over. That's when we knew about it. Everybody else, we didn't care because it was always about the God of Wars, the Last of Us. It was always about the games. That was the most. That is what spoke to our heart. It's our games and our studios. We're very partial of Naughty Dog, very partial of Sony Santa Monica, and on and on and on. That historically has just been the case. That was the huge difference. So whether you had Sean Layton there, which I like Sean Layton, even before him, the people that you had there. I mean, obviously, I think those guys were great because they delivered in their generation the winning platform, the best games, the best strategy, and it just worked for the gamers itself. And ever since it launched in 1994, that has been the case, and that hadn't changed now. Now, I know now we live in a day and age, obviously social media, and we live in a subculture stage now, which is, the woke, the
super woke.
Well, yeah, it's the terminology because people will call anything DEI or woke or whatever, just for the views, just for the outrage, just for the whatever. Even when these studios are laying, like today, we found out the news about a studio being closed and laid off, whatever. Historically, gamers never cared because we don't care. That's internal workings of a corporation. We've never been so entrenched in the internal workings of a corporation as we are in 2024 and 2025, it seems. Prior to that, we never really cared. But I know it's a new day, new age, new era. And looking at this new news, hindsight is 2020. Whatever moves Jim Ryan made, they've been made in the past. He's no longer there. The games that we got during the PS4 era, or just him starting the PS5 era and putting PlayStation in that position where it can continue dominating. As long as a person doesn't flub that, it doesn't matter who you put in that position. You can put Puerto Rock, you can put me in that position. And as long as we deliver on the games and deliver to keep the high quality. Now I know people will say, "Well, you're not delivering the games I want. I want the blah 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 blah." Right? In fair point. But to everybody else, it's like, hey, if if you know how this corporation is ran, yeah, you can say Jim Ryan did X, Y, and Z. But did he basically put Xbox out of business? Yes, he did. He was in charge of that. Not anybody else. He was in charge of the generation that put Xbox out of business. Sean Layden was there when he was able to basically capitalize on Xbox flubs and he put PlayStation where it can continue to do what it always done historically, and that's just dominate. But Jim Ryan was in charge at the time where Phil said we can't compete with Nintendo and we can't compete with PlayStation. And so, as much as people don't like the guy, I don't care for him. I don't care one way or the other. the guy he basically was in charge of putting fucking Xbox out of business, right? He fought them tooth and nail for Call of Duty. He did things that a executive in that position is supposed to do, whether it was bullshit or not. Whether he had signed deals with Phil Spencer for dev kids or not. Either way, this guy was able to rest in peace Xbox. And Herman Hulse or Hiroki Totoki or whoever the guy is, I don't even know the guy that's in charge now, right? But whoever that guy is, he gets to just continue that because he's basically everything is done from here on out. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. All this guy has to do is just deliver games, and he can just coast for the next two to 10 fucking generations because he has no competition now. And but those stair steps that happened based on Sean Layden's hard work, and even prior to Sean Layden, I think it was Kaz, or I forgot his name. Yeah, all these different people that came before. They were in, they put the stair steps. They put PlayStation in the position to dominate. And as long as that executive didn't fuck it up, it was always gonna lead to this place. But I get it. I like Shuhei Yoshida. He didn't become the top guy that Sony thought to be the top businessman. It was Jim Ryan, or whatever, however we call him. And but guess what? The guys still delivered a bunch of games. And we have what we have now, and it is what it is.
Add real fast about Jim Ryan before everybody else jumps in. J-Dub is right. Jim Ryan knew about Project Latitude. They didn't call up Sony and said, "Hey, look, we need to talk to you about maybe sending some dev kits." That took them a while, and as soon as Jim Ryan got that ready to roll, it was time to go. He had vanquished why he was there. They conquered Europe. They've got Microsoft out of Europe. That was their main goal. Okay, so you got two guys that understand that theater the best. Jada, I agree. Sean Layden, you go ahead of them, Andrew House and them guys. That's a different group of men that are running it, and then you just give way to the next group, and you have to hope that they keep knocking the ball out of the park. Jim Ryan was the setup man. He was the middle man, like the middle. By
the way, Craig,
they can knock him out. Yeah.
By the way, Craig, I want to correct something. Shout out to Mr. Mass Produce. It wasn't Jim Ryan, because Sean Layden said this himself in the interview. Sean Layden said it was him that put in motion the whole moving games to PC. He took credit for that.
Yeah, because
he saw fit for that. It wasn't Jim Ryan. So
he said his dev team. He said the devs, the leaders of his dev teams, the Naughty Dogs and whoever he had, were coming to him asking how come they're not doing it. So when Layton stepped down, all Jim Ryan did was continue what Sean had really started with his own. It was Sony's dev direct. Like if J-Dub is Sony and all the rest of us up here are the leaders of the game, his first party studios, and we're all coming up to him saying, "Hey Jay, how come we aren't putting my game on PC? How come this isn't on PC?" M comes in, look, we want to put the game on PC. So what was Sean Layden supposed to do? His own folk was coming to him saying it was no different. You go back to when the Russo brothers were working for Marvel, and they kept on saying they were about to do Captain America: Civil War. Kevin Feige would say, "Well, how else can I help you?" And he would say, "Go." The Russos famously said, "Go to Sony and talk to them about getting Spider-Man," and that's what Kevin Feige did. So and
he explained it, Craig. I mean, it wasn't left to interpretation. Sean Layden said he saw fit for them to take some of their games that had already ran its course and port them and make a little extra money or whatever that's there. But he also said obviously he wouldn't swap a PlayStation gamer for a PC gamer because of everything that he detailed. Like when it comes to PC, they're cheaper. PC guys, PlayStation gamer, they make more money off PlayStation gamer than PC gamer. PC gamer will buy the game and they'll move back and do whatever they was. But as a PlayStation gamer, you're in the ecosystem. You buy the hardware, you buy the software, you buy headphones, you buy the accessories, potentially VR port, all that. He went on to explain it thoroughly, right? if you just don't just read the headlines, but actually go in and listen to the conversation and and look at the video or whatever.
Remember?
But
Yeah.
it makes for great discussion. Great discussion. I'm gonna be honest. One of their best leaders, I think, was um shit, probably I would put like Kaz. I mean, you have to go back to the OG. Those
Yeah,
guys
Cos,
dominated in the
Andrew
PlayStation
House,
1,
all them guys.
PlayStation 2 era. I think PlayStation 3 was obviously that was trying times for them, so you kind of can't get them in. But they weathered the storm. So because that was tough times to be a CEO at that time, when your network went down for a month, when you launched $200 more than the competition a year and a half later after the competition, those are a lot of things to maintain and to not, have the company to go belly up. And they were able to persevere with that, double down on their games, double down on their hardware, make it cheaper, and still be able to come back and outsell the competition. That's the trying times. It's great when everything is going good and you have to do anything. Like right now, whoever that guy is right now, he has it fucking easy. His only job is to not tank, not mess up, keep the strategy going, keep the games cranking out, keep the third party deals coming in, keep cashing those 30% checks from Microsoft. That's really all he has to do, right? Is just kind of keep that strategy that was set forth prior to him. Unless he just does something fucking crazy that just obliterated. But yeah, I think I think outside of the PlayStation 3 era, those guys continued it in the PlayStation 4 era. They doubled down. Obviously, they increased it, and they did some great things there. PlayStation 5 with Jim Ryan, he just kind of continued a lot of that. And then, so even with the PS6, I see it just being a continuation. Those days of starting from scratch with all new chipsets and hardware and all that stuff, and day one, all the you can only play this on them days are over. And this, as soon as we understand that, because your library has to go everywhere, because all the games that you bought previously has to come over, because of that, I think we'll finally be able to get past a lot of stuff. But then right now in the community, there's a lot of resentment because of that. A lot of people feel like, hey, I remember the great days of the PlayStation 2 and the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 3. I had to do X, Y, and Z, and we had real exclusives. We had to buy this console for whatever. But those days are over. Once they went to x86 architecture, that allows you to, everything just keeps rolling over. And I think we'll get over it. It's just going to take some time, and eventually, once things settle, I think we can just kind of move forward and just realize, hey, going forward, there's only Nintendo in the handheld space. There's PlayStation in the console space, and then there's PC for other people who want to do that, and we'll just all get along in harmony. Obviously, I'm gonna try to keep some fight and some console war stuff going, but other than that, man, this shit is a wrap, man.
Chat, I'll say this for I know everybody's going to jump on. If you're going to blame Jim Ryan for Concord, which is fine, you better give him credit for Astrobot. If you're going to blame him for Concord, give him credit
Or
for
Helldivers 2.
If you're gonna blame him for Concord, when he first came out to introduce the PS5, he said Sony had signed a strategic partnership deal with Rockstar Games. So again, I'm all for putting blame where blame needs to be. But you better also be man enough to hold your nuts and say, "Hey, look, the guy also delivered on this." Because I'm all for somebody say, "Hey, look, he dropped the ball on this."
Yeah.
I'm
they all gave us GOTY winners and contenders.
Yeah.
Every single year. Every single year, there's a GOTY contender and winner. And as a gamer, I mean, isn't that what we all want, right? GOTY winners and contenders consistently every year.
Quality. You want the quality. So but again, I want to make this clear. I'm all for, if you want a finger point. I'm not here to say that he didn't make mistakes. Fine.
Yeah. Throw his ass under the bus. I mean, I don't care, but
because he's huge. Yeah, but we're gonna have to. You all need to start getting to a point where you can just say, yeah, there are things I didn't like that he did, but he also did some good things too. But that's all I got on that. Like I said, I hate the fact that something is this 3 years old being told in retrospect is being harped on. Like J-Dub said, y'all need to read the whole statements, and so to get a better sense on what happened. But it is what it is. It is what it is.
All right, let me do the super chats, and then I'm gonna give Extreme an opportunity and the judge. Then I'm gonna go last, cause I'm gonna roast the F out of
Get
this
him.
dude. I'm gonna
Get him.
kill this dude. Right. Jay Barry says your games are mine. Shout out to Jay Barry. Thank you so much for being my member, my brother. He said your games are mine. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jay Barry again with the super chat. He says I get permission to curse. I canceled the last super chat. Laugh out loud. Just kidding. Just kidding. We'll keep it PGT, right? And then of course Jenna Hayes. Thank you so much. Jenna says Shu is probably going to work as a consultant. Oh, he's going to stay in the industries and he wants to consult specifically in this industries, right? So who wants to go next? Judge, Extreme?
I'll go.
We can make the judge go next.
Okay, let's
Actually,
go, Judge.
I'll go next. I don't have much to say about this.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, you know, the thing is, it's like, look, PlayStation fans understandably appreciate Shuhei Yoshida. He was a very affable man, very, good and positive face of the industry. We appreciate him. We'll miss him now that he's left from PlayStation. And I think that people saw the leadership style that Shuhei brought. And then by contrast, Jim Ryan, that was a lot more closed off, much more willing to talk with GQ magazine than to talk to like an IGN or I don't know, MinMax or whatever. And I think that he also ushered in the new era of PlayStation's communication with the roadmaps and everything, all the complaints, no showcases, no PlayStation experience, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. He won. I don't know. Like, J-Dub said it. He won. He won everything. Like, I honestly don't care. And as a person who appreciates actually the fact that PlayStation's communication is a lot quieter and that they're keeping this closer to the chest, I'm happy as a peach, man. I love the PlayStation 5. I love what he has done. To Craig's point, when it comes to like pointing fingers and everything, I look at it like a presidency. It doesn't matter what project was already on the way, how the economy was before you came in. The moment you sit in that chair on the first day, everything that happens after that, for me, that's under your purview. Because you could have canceled it. You could have pivoted, you could have changed things around, but you didn't. So if you are sworn in on, I don't know, January 26th or whatever, if something happens in January 27, even if it was 20 years in the making, that falls under you. That's the way that I see it. So when it comes to like Jim Ryan's tenure, people like to pick and choose what they attribute to him. And anything that happened under his purview, they'll be like, oh, that was Sean Layden, if that's positive. Anything that happens under his purview, if it was negative, oh, that was him. And I think that's pretty funny, the way that people pick and choose how to do that. But at the end of the day, I truly don't care. Listen, I read further into the article. Shuhei does say that it wasn't a choice. It was either take this or you can go, which, fair enough. And then he says that he absolutely wanted to do the indies anyway. Like he said it before in other interviews that he loved the indies and that he wanted to help PlayStation navigate the challenge of people saying that they didn't care about indies. And he actually goes on to detail in the article that before he started his work, indie games were selling 3 to 5 times better on the Switch. And now, 5 years after his performance there, then PlayStation is now the best-selling place for a lot of indie games, with some selling better on PlayStation than on PC. So clearly, he had a positive difference. He had something to contribute there. Beyond that, I don't care, guys. I really don't care. I feel like people try to personify these people, and it's like, you don't know Jim Ryan. You don't even know Shuhei. You see these people, and you see the persona or the aspect of the persona that you choose to see, but I see people like create entire scenarios of what happened, how it happened, and the circumstances or the reasons why. And the truth is, you don't have that information yet. Maybe one day, 10 years from now, there'll be like a Jason Schreier expose that will like talk about the climate behind those decisions, the context behind them. Was it actually like a hostile move by Jim Ryan when he said like, hey, Shuhei, do this or get the fuck out? Or was it more like a more amicable decision? I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. You won. Like, is winning enough? Now you have to win, but you also have to like the people that got you the win. Do people care this way about like the football coach?
I told you we're sore as PlayStation guys. We're sore winners.
I'm telling you,
We've won
Jada,
so
you and I have both
much.
made this point.
We won
I'm just
so
like,
much. It's
do you
crazy.
have to like the coach that like coaches, I don't know, your favorite boxer? Do you have to like the sub coach, the assistant coach? Do you have to like the janitor? Do you have to like and know all of these people? It's a culture to me that is desperate for fandom in a way that I think is a little bit silly. I think it goes a little bit over the pale. At the end of the day, if you like PlayStation, you have the best performing generation ever, both for the company and for you. The PlayStation is the best hardware they've ever come up with. The PlayStation 5, that is. And it is delivering you games at a faster pace. It's delivering you so many games that even the competition is giving you more games. I don't know. It's like, what else do you want them to do? They have to now appeal to your, I don't know, social sensibilities. Listen, you do that, I'm gonna keep playing games on my portal, which I love. And yeah, I'll let the judge talk now.
Certainly
All
appreciate
good
that.
points.
Thank you.
All good points.
I really don't got that much that much more to add to this because I think that I take a similar approach to M, but I differ with number one. As someone already stated, I don't really care about executives. I don't buy a PlayStation based on the executives. If we cared about them as the executives, we'd be just like the Xbox. So let's get that out of the way. Secondly, what I do see, it could be much worse. And what I mean by that is there can be a whole lot of inside competition, cannibalism, like how it was between Sega of America and Sega of Japan. And that led to the downfall of Sega, or rather, that was one of the reasons of why there was a downfall between. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that underneath of the umbrella of that was the main reason of Sega's downfall because Sega of America had their own plan and Sega of Japan had their own plan. Basically, what I'm saying here is that hey, if we're all part of the same team, there shouldn't really be this type of this type of inside competition. Whereas we're that energy and effort can be going elsewhere. Now, as far as with Shuhei Yoshida having to take having to take the approach of you're the president of indies or get out. Not to say that I will ever find out or any of us will actually ever find out unless Yoshida or Jim Ryan actually says exactly what happened there. But I would want to know.
No,
yeah.
not to cut you off. He said it. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Okay.
He said it. He said he was put in that position. Either take the position or you have to leave the company. That's why we're talking about this. It happened.
No. What I mean is, as far as like, what were the reasons behind it? That's what I mean. Mm-hmm. Unless he really got into the reasons of why he was put in that position, then even if he was to say say the reasons why, I still wouldn't really care.
I found the original article that gives a little bit more context.
Okay, I appreciate that, but I wouldn't really care because at the end of the day, I would still question as to number one was there some type of some type of animosity from between Jim Ryan and Shuhei Yoshida, or is it just so cutthroat at the executive level at whatever corporation that's part of the requirements of the job? I don't know. And and then lastly, again, if Sony is doing so good because Sony just didn't come, regardless of who was the head person between Jim Ryan or Shuhei or Jack Trenton or Andrew, damn, I forget Andrew's last name. Sony
House.
was already
Andy House
or Andrew House. Thank you so much. During all of those guys' tenure, Sony was always beating Microsoft, regardless of who you choose. So to me, it's like, yeah, the battle may have quote unquote won underneath Jim Ryan. Okay, fine, whatever. But Sony was always beating Microsoft in the competition. So to me, it's like Sony won because people spoke with their wallets. People they had the better subjectively or objectively they had the better product. But as far as this whole thing with Shuhei having is either choice A or choice B. I don't know, and I really don't care about it. That's all I have to say about it.
All right, let me do the last super chat. Stanley Buffington says, "I can't take seriously anyone who says the PS5 is the worst generation. Clearly, there are new gamers and then live through the PS3 generation." All right, okay, all right. So let me get some of my points. My point is not going to be about liking anybody. I'm about to treat Jim Ryan the way we've discussed Peter Moore, Donnie D, Phil Spencer, or any past executive in any company, in anything. It's just really, it's a report card, right? And the way you do a report card is, as more information in time comes along, you get to see what they did, what they didn't do, what decisions they made, and how they screwed up or how they do, right? I give Peter Moore props. He's probably the best CEO Xbox ever had. Why? Because we know the things he did in hindsight. We know he pushed to try to get DLC from Grand Theft Auto. He went out there and tried to battle to make sure PlayStation didn't get the exclusives they normally do. He would go out to Capcom and Square Enix and all this stuff, right? He would try to make sure he gets the biggest third-party blockbuster deals. So the Mass Effects, the Elder Scrolls, the Bioshocks, he kept at it. He kept his foot on the throat. He knew how to compete with PlayStation because he was coming from Sega. So he saw firsthand how PlayStation was beating the crap out of Sega. And he's like, all right, I know your game plan. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do some moves. I'm going to take your biggest stuff and make it at a minimum same day as my stuff. I'm going to take the stuff that you're weak at, such as online. For example, Virtua Fighter 5 actually launched on PlayStation first. But then when it went on Xbox, he made sure they had online. PlayStation gamers didn't have Virtua Fighter 5 online. In fact, PlayStation gamers was fighting saying, oh, you can't do it. You can't have a fighter online. It's not going to work because the timing is going to be off. You know, Peter Moore's like, nah, we're going to get this online. You see what I'm saying? The point is we can critique, and we have critiqued CEOs, developers. You know, I'm not saying we had to be their friends, but we can see from a report card stance, with as more information comes about, and be like, wait a minute, this guy's good, or this guy's trash. So now I'm going to say, in hindsight, with so far looking at hindsight, looking how everything turns out, I'm going to say Jim Ryan's trash. And he's getting credit for shit that he really didn't do, other than he existed. First, I'll use Craig saying, by putting Yoshida as an indie developer, we were to get No Man's Sky. The problem is, Craig, your dates are off. No Man's Sky launched in 2016. This was way before. This was way before Yoshida took over indies.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
That's what I'm saying. So your dates are kind of off, right? Remember, Jim Ryan took over in 2019, right? 2019, he took over, and then from Yoshida's own mouth, it wasn't. He enjoyed indies. Thankfully, he went to a position he thrived and said, you know what? I'm getting demoted to indies, but I love indies anyway. I'm gonna make it work, and he absolutely did, right? But there's a reason why I'm gonna tell that back. But I'm gonna stop on that. When you look at all the things, I'm gonna pull a Z. What did Jim Ryan actually do? What decision did he say other than letting something coast? Because you're right, M could say, hey, he could have canceled it, right? But some things were in play, and he just said, like, hey, I'm gonna just let it ride. What did he do that says, hey, I want this idea and I want this idea out, right? And that's primarily his live service strategy. There's only a few games that he wanted out from his own tenure. One of them would be Astrobot. So that is correct. That was greenlighted in 2020. That's an idea. He says, yeah, let's make this happen. We're going to shut down Japan Studios, which is not his fault. It wasn't because the games didn't sell bad. In fact, he wanted the studio to be a AAA studio, but the main devs didn't want that responsibility. They wanted to stick to what they do, low budget or mid-range, Gravity Rush type games, that level budget. They didn't want to be a full-blown AAA. So the big dogs left. So when your big dogs leave, you might as well merge them with a team of Sobi, and, they made Astrobot. That's theirs. But I'm looking, I'm checking, not even Returnal is his game, because that was greenlit in 2017 under Sean Layden, right? Now, granted, Xbox got crushed this gen under his, while he's the CEO. But the thing is, Phil said, when did he lose the worst generation ever to lose? It was the PS4 gen, right? PS4 gen. He said if there was any gen that was absolutely the worst to lose, it was that gen. And he lost it. Right there, PS4 was really the road of Xbox ending. Really, at that point, Jim Ryan didn't beat Xbox. Xbox beat themselves. Because they made stupid decisions over and over and over, right down to the ABK deal. Him buying. If anything, if Jim Ryan was successful in stopping the deal, that would have helped Microsoft. The only reason why they just finally gave up, because once they bought ABK and Amy Hood looked at the books, she's like, oh, hell no. When big Microsoft realized what they spent $100 billion on, they're like, nah, you guys can't do this. If anything, if Jim Ryan was successful, they would have never bought ABK, and they wouldn't be forced to make the moves that they're moving now.
I'll disagree, because the reason we know this, because during the ABK case, Jim Ryan obviously was fighting against it, but we now know, due to Rare saying that they already had dev kits and already started working on Sea of Thieves in 2020, right? When did the ABK court case come up? In 2022, right? So even prior to the ABK deal, they signed a deal with Jim Ryan, knowing the plan was to put Xbox games on PlayStation. That was already in play. So Jim Ryan's signed that deal with them, saying that they were going to bring their games over to PlayStation. He allowed it, and he knew that, hey, these guys are fucking basically becoming a third-party publisher. They're giving up on this. They're just, it's all just acting out for public stuff. But their plans were already set for that. So that was his thing.
All right, so let's say it's okay. So we'll go with that, right? But Jim Ryan didn't do anything.
He did what he's supposed to do. He fought against it.
What did he do? No, what did he do to force him to do that? Nothing. He didn't do anything to force him to do that. That was because the PlayStation 4 whooped Xbox, and Microsoft said, let's try different strategies. Let's try this Game Pass strategy, right? Let's try to do that. Let's try to do cloud.
Hold on. Didn't we just say that when you become president, people start judging you? No. I'm asking.
No. We're not doing that. That's why Extreme test, and that's his point.
Okay.
I'm saying that's Extreme point. I didn't agree with that.
Okay.
I just let him say that. I didn't agree with that. Jim Ryan did not make. So I want to know who made a decision that says we're doing this, not fall onto success, right? Meaning somebody else did something. Now you coasting because, like you said,
we'll never know.
The next,
we'll never know because we don't know. No, we don't know the. We don't know the insides.
What this one?
You or I don't know.
Phil Spencer said the worst generation.
We only know from articles that come out. That's it.
Listen, Phil Spencer, in his own mouth, said the worst generation to lose is PS4 gen. That's not Jim Ryan.
Absolutely. But that's dating back to 2013. Anybody can say, "Hey, listen, the worst date I had was back in high school." Anybody can say that.
But that's fine. But Jim Ryan can't take credit for that. That's what we can say. I'm not saying
we're not trying to give Jim Ryan credit for that. We're not trying to give Jim Ryan credit for that. We're giving him credit for running PlayStation.
He didn't do anything.
PlayStation.
He didn't do anything. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Other than maybe at best, Helldivers and Astrobot.
A chair sitting there at PlayStation, somehow just empty chair, just was running the day-to-day business operations, right? Let's put a chair, right? Let's move Jim Ryan out the way. We're just gonna put an empty chair. Somebody had to run the day-to-day operations from a financial standpoint, from business decision standpoint, or whatever, to keep this shit going, to make sure that this shit didn't go back like it was in the PS3 era, right? So somebody, you don't have to give Jim Ryan credit, but let's give a chair or somebody a credit of that. And I get it from not wanting to give someone credit for something, even because we don't really know the day-and-date operations. Did he sign this? Did we sign it? We don't know that.
The next guys just have to coast. You just said the next guys have to coast.
That's the strategy
what Jim Ryan did.
That's a blanket.
He coasted. Okay. But the main decision, this is what I'm saying. The main decision. Hold on. The main decision for Jim Ryan.
It says Sean Layden. That means once Sean Layden left, everything was on autopilot, and nobody gets credit for anything going. Is that what we're saying?
What I'm saying is Jim Ryan's mark is the live service strategy with failed. That's his legacy. That's what I'm saying. That's his legacy.
Okay.
That's his legacy.
Well, I'll tell you what. Well, if that's the case, you're absolutely right.
Listen, everything else he's good.
If you're going to be right on that point, well, can we say that Jim Ryan was responsible for one of my
trash? That's all we need to say.
The multiplayer of the year that beat COD. Give him that. Can he get credit on that?
Okay, what?
Can he get credit for Helldivers 2? Can he get credit for Helldivers 2?
That's what I'm saying. Helldivers 2. I said that Helldivers 2 and Astrobot. That's it.
Okay. Well, we give him credit for those 2 gems, and then the rest. Okay, hey, I'll take it. That was my number 1 game.
Actually,
that's my number 1 game.
I wish he never took over. I'll take it. And the reason why I brought this up because I'm gonna circle back when Yoshida was interviewed with Greg Miller and he asked him about the live service. Yoshida says if he would have been in first party, he would have not agreed to the live service strategy. And that, to me, is the reason why he got demoted. Because Jim Ryan knew they worked together for a long time. Now, this is just me making an assumption. But they worked together since the beginning. And I have a feeling Jim Ryan
knew. The last of the OGs.
I have a feeling Jim knew Yoshida was not going to like what he was planning. So he's like, listen, I'm doing this shit. And I know you don't like it. So you can handle indies and let me do what the hell I'm going to do. But we're doing this shit. And Joshi was like, all right, fuck it. I'll do indies.
Facts.
Fuck it. Leave me out of here. Right? Leave me out of here. I'm fine. I'll do indies. I'll take care of indies. I'll make indies go. You know, in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, good luck with your live service. I think it's a stupid strategy. But hey, you do you. And guess what? Jim Ryan failed. Failed. Get this dude out of here. All these pencils canceled. The only thing he got from the live service strategy is really Helldivers. 1 out of 10. And given the fact that the majority of budget was to live service strategy, that's an L. He's out Don Matrick. The only difference between Don Matrick and Jim Ryan is that he didn't totally collapse. Like, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, PlayStation's so successful, right? It's a big stump, but PlayStation will get over it. What Don Matrick did, totally screwed up PlayStation, right? But the thing what I'm saying is he didn't beat Xbox. Jim Ryan did not beat Xbox. Xbox lost because of PS4, how successful PlayStation 4, and they didn't know how to deal with it. So they decided, you know what? We're going to go a new direction. We're going to go day-and-day PC. We're going to go push cloud. We're going to go Game Pass. In fact, we're going to put Game Pass at the forefront. Oh, I got an even better idea. Let's put Game Pass day 1, day and date. All those decisions that Phil Spencer did ultimately led to the fall of Xbox. That's why it ended up. Jim Ryan didn't do anything. He didn't make a decision. Say, let me make this decision.
He was sitting in that chair.
He was just
sitting in the chair.
He chilling.
He kept the chair warm.
And the one idea he did have was stupid. In fact, think about it.
Hold on. Here's the thing, though.
One more point. Let me make one point. He came in 2019. What happened in 2019 that completely changed? That everybody's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? Do y'all remember? Let's see if y'all remember what happened in 2019. No, COVID was 2020. 2020 was COVID.
No, it's COVID-19.
COVID is
2020, buddy. Trust me.
It's literally called COVID-19.
I was joining it, yeah. But no.
It's literally called COVID-19.
Okay, I know that.
It was announced. They knew about it they knew about it at the end of 2019 and it started in 2020 from what I understand, from what I remember.
The world got locked down in March of 2020. Not 2019. Something happened in 2019 gaming. Which is a coincidence that Jim Ryan took over. I'll give you a hint. The Last of Us 2. What happened? What happened with The Last of Us 2?
What happened to it?
Oh my God. Y'all don't remember what happened in 2019? They made an announcement in 2019.
You're talking
Something
about
happened.
Online?
There you go. 2019 is when Naughty Dog announced they're not adding multiplayer to The Last of Us 2 and that they're going to push for a bigger project. That's Jim Ryan, right?
Okay.
Now, The Last of Us 1 Remaster came out, $70. They didn't have The Last of Us 1 multiplayer. A lot of PlayStation gamers complained. They're like, yo, you're going to remaster the game, but you're not going to include the multiplayer that is part of the game? What was the damage control a lot of gamers was forgiving Naughty Dog for? They said, no, it's okay. It's okay. One was we played it for the single player, but there was one more big reason to say it's okay not to have the multiplayer in the remake because what? Because
I don't know.
Because of factions.
Come on,
why would you have multiplayer in the last one remake when factions is coming? That's just stupid. Only to not get factions anyway. That's Jim Ryan. That's why we got from Jim Ryan. We got dumb decisions. We got decisions that don't make sense. We got weird stuff. So all I'm saying, I'm not saying I like the guy or whatever, but what I'm saying is report card, he gets an F. He didn't do anything, right? Like you said, you could have put me in that chair. In fact, I would have been better than Jim Ryan because I would have said, nah, we're not doing this live service strategy. Shuhei Yoshida, yeah, you stay in first party. And you're in charge of indies. I'm just going to sit here and, just drink rum and mind my own business. You know what I'm saying? And I would have been better than Jim Ryan. By me not going full out, I'd probably be like, hey, but we got Helldivers. All right, we'll get that one game. What about Concord? Yeah, dead that trash. I'm like, that. You never seen the light and day. I would have just reduced it. But Jim Ryan, report card, trash. I'm not saying like the guy or respect him, but in hindsight, decisions that he made, the best part about him, he let stuff that was already cooking, he allowed it to cook, so he left it alone. So I guess you get an A for just letting things that's already in play be in play. But the stuff he said, no, this is what we're doing. I have a vision, and this is my vision going forward. Failed. It was trash. He messed up. It was a stupid idea. That's all it is, And taking Yoshida, like, I guarantee he took out Yoshida because, again, when he talked in Greg Miller podcast, he said he would have pushed back on the first part. Now, granted, and I'm gonna say this, and this is the reason when I put two and two together, because this happens in the military once in a while, right? I've been in places, I've been in units where if you have somebody in charge, they want certain people to be at the table, and they don't invite other people at the table, even though they should be there because of their expertise. And the reason why is they want all the yes people there. And the reason why they do this, I'm going to tell you why. The reason why they do this, if you're at the table and you have all the yes people that think like you, and everybody at the table agree, you could go up to the battalion commander or the regimental commander, be like, hey, we all agree, this is the way forward. We all see the same. If the plan fails, the higher commander is going to be like, what the hell happened? You can say, hey, sir, ma'am, we all agreed this is just an unfortunate thing that nobody that was with us anticipated going wrong. That's why they do shit like that. So that way, whoever you hold responsible to, they're not going to look like, they're not going to be like, wait a minute, you were advised that this wasn't wrong. So what happened is you messed up. You made a bad decision between two things. But because you stacked the deck where everybody's agreeing with you, you could just say, hey, we all agreed, I was advised, all the people, this is just an unfortunate thing, right? But if you had the people that you normally would have and be like, I want to do this, like Yoshida, and who knows who else, be like, nah, this live service, the way you're doing it is not going to work. We don't advise you go this. And Jim Ryan goes, well, I'm going to do it anyway. It fails. Now the boss is like, what happened, Jim? I made a choice. Some people advised me not to do it. Some people did. I went with the did. All on me. And I guarantee that's what happened because I seen that all the time. I see that all the time in the military. People stack the deck and make sure certain people aren't there in the meetings because they know some of those people already are going to be like, nah, this is not going to work, whatever. So they make sure they get all the people that would agree, and then the decision's done. And then those of us are like, wait a minute, when did this decision happen? And just like the military, once a commander says the decision's done, that's it. There's no going back, even if you weren't at the table. All right? The plan fails. No one saw it coming. No one at your table saw it coming because you didn't have the right people that could give you a different perspective. So now you could go to the regimental commander and tell them, nobody saw this coming. Unfortunately, the regimental commander's like, okay, get it. We understand you made a command decision. You weren't advised of the bad side of the strategy. Don't worry about it. Your career's still intact. You're good. All right, keep going. Fix it. Do what you got to do. And I guarantee Jim Ryan pulled that bullshit because I see that shit. Well, maybe that's just me, but the experience I have, I seen that shit. I seen where you out of the blue, like this is Yoshida, like really, like Yoshida saying, "Hey, indies or get out." You really telling that to the man that got you Spider-Man, the man that got you God of War. Remember, that's all Yoshida. He was in charge of first party, and he came up. He's the one that told Cory Barlog, "You out your mind? Get that trash out of here." He told the developer, "You coming with this? No, you not coming this. Give me something better or don't even bother." Cory Barlog came with the God of War we love, the Goldie, the 20 million seller, the game that beat Red Dead. That's Yoshida. And you're going to demote him For indies, I guarantee he did that. Now, granted, I'm glad Yoshida, ultimately got what he loved and what he's passionate about. Good for him. But Jim Ryan, I think we could solidify he's trash. But not trash to the point where he screwed up the brand, thankfully, like Donnie D, but he didn't really help the brand for the next person. He just let things coast at coast. At least he was smart enough for that. But the things he really wanted, the things that he thought he was going to get a brass ring, where he's like, yep, I got my Thanos glove. Nah, dog, that ish was Play-Doh. You got Play-Doh. And now you got to go. Enjoy your cookie. That's just how I see it. I don't think Jim Ryan was good for the brand, other than he was smart enough, at least not to change certain things. But his decision to live service request, that was a dumb decision. That was all him. He orchestrated that. And there's just certain things that, now listen, I'm not the multiplayer guy, but I guarantee there's a lot of PlayStation guys that are upset that at a minimum, they could at least have been enjoying Factions 2 on The Last of Us 2. At least that. They could at least enjoy that. But they couldn't even get that. And the damage control was, you're going to get an actual full-fledged Factions, to which in the end, they didn't get either. Now, me, I'm happy they made that decision, because I'm selfish. All I want is a single-player side of Naughty Dog. But to be fair, they could have had the regular multiplayer, to which, that's what you want. You just want regular multiplayer. You don't want this live service stuff. They should have left Naughty Dog alone. Jim should have left Naughty Dog alone and be like, just do your normal multiplayer. Whatever. I'll go.
Here's the thing that I mean about the limited information. How do you know that it was Jim Ryan? And also, here's the thing I don't like about this whole this game. First of all, you can't give him credit for No Man's Sky, because according to your metric, not No Man's Sky, Helldivers 2. Because according to your metric, it started before he took ownership of the entire thing. So you can't give him credit for that.
Then he doesn't know. I'm thinking.
But this is exactly why I don't like it.
Then he doesn't get credit for it.
Are we going to keep giving Jim Ryan credit for projects that come out in 2028 because we find out that it started in 2021 or something? Like I hate this score keeping stuff, because it's just like, at the end of the day, first, it doesn't matter because I really don't care, but it's flawed. It's flawed because then we'll be talking about it since 2035. Because in 2037, we'll find out that, 14 years ago, there was a concept that started on the Jim Ryan, and that became the PlayStation VR 7. And then we have to go back and we have to update the scorecard. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. This is what I mean. You treat it like a presidency. The moment you walk in to the moment you walk out, that's you. Everything that happens, good or bad, that's you. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, decades later, you're still keeping score. It makes no sense. Second of all, the guy won. And also use the quote of Phil Spencer, where he said that, the worst generation to lose was a PlayStation 4. First of all, that's a complete lie, because 42% of PlayStation 5 customers are brand new to the PlayStation. So that means that Xbox had an equal amount of chance to get at least 40% of their customers brand new to their ecosystem. Okay? They had just as much opportunity. Guess what? If a new contender came in now, they're not going to be like, we're not going to come into gaming because we weren't there during the PlayStation 4 generation. They're going to make their own value proposition, and then the people are going to react positively or negatively according to that thing. It was always a lie the moment that Phil Spencer said it, always a defeatist attitude. And quite frankly, it's disappointing that you will use that as one of your arguments, because it's completely false, And I don't know, again, at the end of the day, I feel like it's a little bit silly, to go back and forth on this thing, because there's just too many things that we do not know, We'd like, obviously, to give leadership to the person that is at the highest position. That makes sense. To say that the buck stops with you. But, people talk about the PlayStation 4 era as if Jim Ryan wasn't there. He's been there since the entire time. If PlayStation is successful now, part of that credit, in a large part, actually, especially for people like me that live under what is PlayStation Europe, even though Australia is Australia, but we fall under the Europe branch. That's Jim's success. So
the GT7, the GT Sport.
So I would say,
so it's just like,
it's not a lie. because granted, PlayStation 5's getting 42%, but PlayStation ended the gen PS4 on a high note. Xbox didn't. Xbox One was trash.
But that was because of their generation. It wasn't because of what Phil Spencer said when he was talking about digital libraries. It had nothing to do with digital libraries.
It was a lot. It was a lot of spectrum. One, digital. He's using digital libraries because a core component is. Wait, with the establishment of digital libraries, there's going to be people.
People don't move.
This is a new territory. Right? This is not normal. PlayStation 4 gen is a lot of new stuff in gaming. Like x86, this is the first transition from x86 to x86. We see what's happening. More cross-gen than ever before, right? Digital library is the new establishment in gaming. Digital library wasn't really that prevalent with PS3, and it definitely wasn't that prevalent with the PS2, PS1. So every time you bought a new console, you kind of start over. With the PS5, you literally kept your whole entire library intact. Here's
the reason that I don't care for that argument, yeah? The same thing happens with physical collections, okay? If people invest, right? And I will say even more so, like, look at people that hold on to CDs. If people invest physically in a huge library of physical games, they're not willing to move. And yes, I know that the cutoff point because of the PlayStation 3 the PlayStation 3 after a while didn't play the PlayStation 2 games. The PlayStation 4 didn't play PlayStation 3 games. So I get that there is an opportunity to leave, but I will say that the sentimental value is far higher than on a digital library.
So I'm gonna have you. Which you think is more likely? More people maintaining the physical library or more people maintaining the digital library? I'm gonna tell you.
Physical.
Digital library.
Trust me.
Digital.
As a person that deals with physical media.
No. Most people, if you go to the average gamer's house, most of them don't even have their PS4 disc anymore. They give it away. They trade it away. They lose it. Okay, I'm just saying worldwide. Okay, think about it. Every person. There is a reason why Sony just reported now almost 80% of the game sales
in America.
Okay.
In America,
yeah, in America and in Europe,
and 80% in other places in the world are physical.
If you want to compare like Africa or other regions where digital's not that big, how many people own a PlayStation compared to the amount of people own a PlayStation?
But even in many places in Europe, digital is bigger. Like the UK is an exception, and France I think is also an exception. But many other places, physical is bigger.
No, they're saying, in fact, we'll put up the stats on much more Europe, digital's overtaking it.
I found the Venture Beat interview with Yoshida that had more context to that. I can read it.
That's what we were reading. That was
the thing he was reading.
But no, Yoshida in the Venture Beat context, he actually said it was not a choice. That was what thing, right? Think about it this way: to have a digital library, right, it's just that one device and a server that you connect to. There's people now with thousands of games. How many people actually have thousands of CDs? It's a small niche.
No, hold on. How many people have thousands of games?
Okay.
Like, let's be honest. Most gamers buy 2 to 3 games a year. This whole idea. No, that's the thing. It is the thing. The thing is this.
You don't have to even buy games. He's talking about gamers.
The majority have 30 games over an entire console generation. He's telling you that they couldn't leave because of 30 games.
No.
Yes, there's people like freaking, I don't know, Crap Gamer. He's got thousands of games. He's not gonna move. That makes sense. But that's less than 2% of gamers. Most gamers don't have freaking $100,000 invested in a digital ecosystem. It doesn't happen.
Listen, no. Now with free games, they give games every month. You can buy games for $5. Games are more accessible digitally than ever before. And when they buy it, when they buy it, right? When they buy it, they keep it. Physical is hard to maintain unless you're a collector and you have it nice and organized in a nice little room. Most people aren't like that.
Whether physical or digital, most people do not have enough invested in a generation to keep them to stay there, even if the other side is looking really good to them. No, most people invest maybe
that's changing.
Okay, most gamers, right, invest maybe up to $1,000 over the 7 years of a generation. Okay, that is and that's huge. Because again, most of them are buying maybe 2 to 3. Remember the attach rate? We used to have the attachment rate, right? usually it's like what for a console it's like 8-1. That means that a person has a console, buys 8 games over the generation. That's what the attach rate is for most people.
Now take all those games and you don't lose it now. Now it's yours.
No, but it's only 8.
Okay, no,
it's only 8 over 7 years. That's not gonna hold you down.
No. But all right. But you're only talking about buying. Do they not get free games anymore? Do they not have free to plays? Do they not have free to plays?
But free to play moves across, especially now with like cross progression and everything.
PS Plus usually gives on average 3 games a month.
Most people don't claim PS Plus.
Okay,
you know this.
There's 45%. That's enough. That's a 45%.
No. I'm not saying most people don't have. I'm saying the people that have PS Plus. Okay. Most of them don't claim the games.
How you know most don't claim the games?
Because this was a start. Okay. Like
so in other words, see what you're trying to do.
Look, I personally have friends that are deeply invested into PlayStation. They've had PlayStation Plus for years and years. Okay. They hardly ever claim the games. How could you be the one to remind them?
That's only a few people and stuff like that. The reality is this:
it's only a few people that religiously claim.
Extreme. The game has changed. The reality is
that's what I'm trying to tell you.
More people.
Let me give you an example. Let me finish my point.
No,
hold on. Let me finish my example. Okay. Imagine that you go into your home. Okay, you're buying a new home in Florida, and you're like, "Yep, I'm gonna love this." Okay. Then I come to you and I say, "Hey, you know what? There's a better home. Okay, 2 blocks down. It's better in every way. You're gonna love it." Okay, now let's put 2 scenarios. One, you've been living in your house in Florida for about 2 weeks, but you've invested $100,000 in it, right? Like you've already started the upgrades, the renovations. It's too late to cancel. It's already on the way. You're thinking like, man, I've already tied up all of this money in here. Okay, cool. The other example, you've been living in that Florida house for 7 years, and you've only put $800 in it. Now I'm like, hey, you can sell this one, make money, and move to a better one. You're not tied to it. You're like, yep, cool, move me over. That's exactly what happens. No, Phil Spencer is pretending that 90% of gamers have like hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in the Xbox or the digital ecosystem or whatever console they happen to be on. So therefore, they're going to be locked down. When in reality, most of them have less than $500 invested in it, and they're not going to mind because it's not like they paid that $500 yesterday. They don't feel it. And again, PlayStation Plus, only 40% of people have it. Of the people that have it, very few of them actually claim the games on PlayStation, and so on and so forth. People are not locked to a console. If anything, people are more locked to the phones, and people still switch phones.
No, so the people are locked to a console now because it started with the PS4 gen. Because again, PS4 started, that gen started the library. Physical doesn't have the advantage. People lose physical games and all that stuff. With more people adopting digital library, they does not have access to it. So now you buy a PlayStation 4. It's the most popular console, you buy it. You get this game. Oh, I get a free game. Oh, I'm playing Fortnite. Oh, I got Spider-Man. I got this, I got that. I get this, I got that. Now you have this library game. The next console comes out. Everything I have completely transfers it. Not only that, I get some upgrades. I get some free upgrades. Or I could pay $10 for an upgrade for something I've been owning for a while. Why would I buy an Xbox or any other stuff? Cool. Let me get the PlayStation 5. It has the games I already like. Oh, shit. I got Days Gone remastered. All I got to do is pay $10 to now play the PS5 version. Those are the things that now the digital library introduces. People now have games, and you get a free upgrade. Some of them are even free for the PS5. Hey, you bought The Witcher PS4? Yeah, I bought it. Hey, on the PS5, it's free if you want the PS5 upgrade. Cool. I like it. Everything's better. Some of the games I got that I had transfers over. Some of the games that transfers over, I get free upgrades, or I could pay $10 and get a better version. Whatever. That's what's happening. With 360, no one really cared about the 360. It just didn't sell well. No one really cared. They couldn't get a full hold. Now the next generation was like, all right, Xbox 360, what am I going to get this for? Most people already made the decision right from the get-go, I'm getting a PS5. They didn't care about the specs, whatever, full RDNA. They said PlayStation 4 is great. I got a library of games. And then when they announced, hey, you could get enhancements, or you could buy a $10 upgrade pack, or you get free upgrade to your PS5. Why should I even waste the time discussing? Well, despite all this library and all this stuff I got, that if I get the PS5, some games get a free upgrade, some games I gotta buy, and I know the sequels are coming. Why would they even spend a second even talking about Xbox? It's like Xbox didn't do anything. That's the main thing. He lost a generation. At least if he would have ended the generation like the way PlayStation ended the generation with PS3, with a name, with a game, something that says, all right, you sucked for a little bit, but god damn it, you finished strong. At least now you can say when the Xbox Series generation started, hey, Xbox One's ended strong with this game, ended strong with that game, ended strong with this game. You know what I'm saying? You know, them games are hot. You know, like PlayStation 3, right? A lot of people that bought PlayStation 4 was because of like, man, I heard you got like The Last of Us and God of War. You know why I didn't get to play those games? You ended off strong. I'm gonna look into the PlayStation 4 and stuff like that. Xbox didn't do that. Xbox didn't do anything like that, right? So the combination of having a library, which we've seen, you can get free upgrades or pay $10 to get an upgrade. That's enticing for some gamers, right? Same thing with Days Gone Remastered. That's a PS4 game. Guess what? Because you have a PS5, you could get that PS4 game, pay $10, and get the PlayStation 5 experience, right? These are some of the things that got introduced with the new generation with the PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 gen, Xbox, the 8th gen, we'll call it the 8th gen. The 8th gen of gaming introduced some new things that didn't really matter before. x86 changed the game. We didn't see it when it first got announced, and everybody's like, hey, PlayStation 4, Xbox console is going to be x86. Everybody's like, oh, that's great, easier games. No one anticipated how deep into cross-gen we would be. That is just a byproduct of x86, and it's going to continue. And in my opinion, it's even going to be worse. Maybe worse is a bad way to use the word, but it's going to be, I think, even bigger because PS5 launched as a great console. I think PS5 is going to have longer legs than the PS4, which means cross-gen is going to be around a little bit longer. And especially if the PS5 Pro does a little bit better, cross-gen, PlayStation 6, 2-3 years of cross-gen, maybe even 4. You're going to have to accept it because people are probably going to stick around with PS5 a little bit longer. That is just a byproduct of the new generation. Digital library, especially now how a lot of people are adopting it. Now, I get it. You're going to say people in Africa, the Middle East and whatever, they're still disc. But how many consoles are sold in the United States compared to Africa? You cannot tell me Africa has 30 million consoles sold. They don't. They may have like 5 million. So the console, the disc, let's all be honest. Disc-based users, while they still exist, and I'm not advocating for this to go away, they still exist, they're a smaller segment compared to the overall. And when Sony reports the numbers, it's not US, they report numbers for the whole company. Majority of the games worldwide is like 70% plus digital. That's worldwide. So the few regions in Africa, Lithuania, the Balkans, they're not enough to turn the tide. Sure, maybe in those countries, primarily disc, and sure, Sony will still sell disc-based games. But the majority of gamers' libraries is a digital library. And because it's a digital library, it's easy. You're not going to lose it. There's a reason why I don't have the Sega Genesis no more. There's a reason why I don't even have the PS1 no more. There's a reason why I can't find games like MGS1. People lose them, or they get rid of them. Only the hardcore collectors are strategically maintain their libraries. Compared to a digital library from a digital gamer, yes, there is much more gamers with digital libraries than gamers with physical libraries by a whole lot. And it's only going to get bigger because the number of sales are showing it. When 70% of game sales are software, the digital guys are getting small. The physical guys are getting smaller in number. I hope it don't get to the point where Sony says, you know what? You guys are too small. I don't think that'll ever happen, and I'm not advocating for that. Because I'm like, I buy some physical games here and there as well. But there is no argument that these guys are not the majority of the libraries anymore. That's done. That's over with. It's all digital. And digital's easy. You have all these games. And because you have all these games, they just stay under your profile name. And they just keep stacking. Oh, they gave this game away for free. Oh, this is PSN Plus. Okay, I got that. And you just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And then at a certain point, this overwhelming stack of games that just stays with you, you're not going to want to leave it. You're not going to want to leave it. This is why Xbox gamers, they're really concerned about Xbox. Their number one concern about Xbox is if Microsoft does not create another Xbox, what happens to their library? Can they convert it to PC? they might be asked out and be like, well, I'm gonna have to maintain the Series X forever because that's the only way I could maintain the library that's been built up. This is the digital world.
Okay.
People built the library digitally.
Let's talk statistics, and I'm just going to like make sure we establish a baseline of reference. Average is a bad number to use statistically because people like Impatient Fire in the chat that have 600 to 700 games digitally on the PlayStation ecosystem, they push up the average. The best will be the median, but we don't have access to the median, so we're going to go to the average. So the average sell attach rate, that means that if a console is sold, on average, how many games are bought for that system is for the PlayStation 4, 13.8. So let's just go 14 just to make the math easier. Remember that this is pushed up by all of the people, the King Thrashers, the Porterworks, everybody, they buy 20 plus games. Some buy hundreds of games, sales or whatever. Cool. So 14 is already an inflated number for the majority of people. Okay? You are telling me that let's be generous and pretend that the average wasn't pushed up. That people are tied down to the PlayStation 4 because over 7 years, they bought on average 2 games every year. That's silly. It's a silly argument to make. It's an absolutely silly argument. People are not locked to the... Listen, if you are a Impatient Fire and you have 600 games, of course you're locked to the system. Where else are you going to go? If you're a Porterwork, of course you're locked to the system. You're not going to go anywhere. But if you are the average person who is going to have less than 14 games in an entire generation, because again, that is a number that can be inflated by outliers, you're not going to be tied down to that ecosystem because of the PlayStation 4, and not even because of the PlayStation 5, because this is going to keep going. On average, people buy 1 to 2 games per year. Understand that the people you see on Twitter, you guys are the minority. You guys are like the 2% maximum. So again, this is why it's a fallacy to say that, hey, because it's digital, and this is, again, pretending that all of these are digital, because in the PlayStation 4 era, I don't know, about 60% of games were digital, 40% were physical. So if you say that physical doesn't have the big attach, then you divide this, and then it ends up being like, what, 9 games that may have been bought digitally in some regions of the world. It's a silly thing to think that the PlayStation 4 digital created this massive movement for most people where they could not switch platforms. And that is exactly the reason why you see in the PlayStation 5, 42% are new. And a lot of them will be gamers that are coming from Xbox or Switch because they were not attached to these things. Because for most people, again, that doesn't matter. So that's the first point. The second point, and I think we need to go back to the conversation about exactly the fallacy in trying to score people based on speculation. The idea of the report card, again, to me, completely false, because this means that for the next 3 years, definitely, you cannot attribute anything that PlayStation does in terms of game output to Nishino or Herman Holtz or the people that are actually in charge, because you have to say that, well, those things started under Jim Ryan. It's so silly. Like, it's a weird scorekeeping thing that we do, and I just think it wastes the airwaves and the conversation. But I'll let you reply.
So I'll say this. So on your last point, no, because that will use Sony Ben and Bluepoint, right? When Jason Schreier released and saying, hey, their project got canceled, Sony, according to him, released a press statement saying that they're going to figure out what their way forward is. So they don't have a new project. So when they create a new project, it's not under Jim Ryan. In fact, Jim Ryan screwed them over. They left them with nothing because of live service game. So another negativity on Jim Ryan. So when they do finally come with a new game, it's under the new regime. And right now they're working to be like, all right, let's think of something. Hopefully, and that's where with the whole conversation of maybe if they do a remake or remaster, they could get something out by 2028. So Bluepoint, right? Not having another game, meaning the only game they had was a remake, which started before Jim Ryan, really is the only thing they did. Any new project was his idea, and it ended up failing. So now we got nothing from Bluepoint. Sony Ben, if it wasn't for this remaster, which they co-developed or had another team help them out, we would have nothing at all. But the fact that we're getting a remaster, and that's probably the only thing we're going to get up until and a new next generation PlayStation comes out or cross gen, that's Jim Ryan. Most of this stuff is all his. He has more bad than good. Lots of bad. Who knows how far behind he put the studios, So people can say, there's no point Jim Ryan report card. We've done it to other people with even less information. Podcasters, even on this channel, scored on, give props, scored, say you suck, this person suck, whatever. Done it all the time. So I don't know why Jim Ryan can't get the smoke. Obviously, that man, more often from his decision, not good. Not good. At best, you can say the projects that were already greenlit, he was smart enough not to cancel them. He was smart enough not to cancel Spider-Man, which, really, how smart do you need to be? Like, you're really going to cancel Spider-Man 2? You're really going to cancel God of War Ragnarok? You're really going to cancel GT7? You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of games that's like, you're going to cancel Rift Apart. Like, at that point, you're just purposely trying to destroy the PlayStation, right? But from what we've seen, what he tried to do to add his mark to push PlayStation forward was his live service strategy. And his live service strategy is an abysmal failure. Pretty much. That was his brass make. That was his, let me add whatever PlayStation's doing, let me add my part. Your part sucked. So now the new guy is going to have to deal with your part that sucked. That's that. Now, as far as the digital library, when Phil Spencer said that was the worst generation to loot, it's because the massive success of PlayStation, everybody's playing on PlayStation. So most of the libraries that are being built is on PlayStation. The movement towards digital, primary on PlayStation. The movement on free-to-plays, primary on PlayStation. PlayStation was getting all the energy, all the success from a digital footprint, from the free-to-play footprint, everything. Everybody was doing it. Xbox did nothing. Right? Now, that's not the definitive reason. I'm not saying that's his argument. I'm not trying to say that's the argument, right? But when you establish a foothold and it's the first generation of, gaming is becoming a digital thing, you get to keep your libraries, all these free-to-plays, all this stuff is digital online, and PlayStation comes out the winner, it's going to be kind of hard to get the majority of people on PlayStation to even look in Xbox direction. And I think that's what he's trying to say. Why would any PlayStation gamer, unless Microsoft did something tremendous, which we know they didn't, because they didn't finish the gen strong. They literally did nothing to end the gen. Absolutely nothing. So there was no reason in 2020 where the majority of people who own the PlayStation 4 to say, hey, I'm gonna be neutral and I'm just gonna wait it out. I want to equally look at Xbox and PlayStation and then figure out the new console for me. No. The decision for PlayStation 5 was already done. If anything, a lot of PlayStation 4 gamers were pissed off because not enough PlayStation 5 was being moved. The decision for most PlayStation gamers to go to Xbox, PlayStation 5, was done. It was already there. The battle was already over. There was no reason to even look in Xbox direction. People played on PlayStation. They got the library. They got the games, the goatees, the biggest blockbuster titles. Microsoft, for whatever reason, you know what they were doing? We'll do day and date on PC. Oh, we got Game Pass with a library at the time that was anemic and nothing but old games. Hell, even when they launched the console, you can buy Super Boost games. Most people didn't even look at that. Most gamers on PS4 didn't even look at it. There was no reason to look at it. The only way people would have looked at Xbox if they would have been competitive that generation, but they weren't. They were not competitive at all. At all, But with the additional layer of the digital library, that's a factor. Why would you want to leave? PlayStation's great, got great titles. You're building up this game library that stays with you. You're not losing it. Your cousin's not stealing it. You're not trading it in. Little by little, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Get some free games here and there. It's pretty much. The whole point is PS4 is when Xbox lost. It just took time to realize it. It's kind of like, Fist of the North Star. The guy said, it just took a little bit till you blew up. But this gen was already a wrap for them. They didn't know what to do. They were just throwing shit at the wall. In fact, look at Colin Moriarty's video he just did 20 minutes about flying too close to the sun. That end was done. The only thing that maybe they could have done to salvage it was have faith on the Xbox console. It would be insane faith, but just have faith nonetheless and say, listen, come hell or high water, we're going to give this console exclusive. Excuse me. But by the time that happened, they didn't believe in a console. PlayStation 4 beat the shit out of Xbox One. It just took years later to see it. Now that we look in hindsight, there was nothing they could do. Microsoft made too many stupid decisions in the Xbox One gen era. They should have never put Game Pass at the forefront. They should have never went day and date on PC. And they most definitely, and you even said this, they should have never went day and date on their games. That alone really is what killed them. I would say if there was any move that killed Xbox was the day and date. Sure, it's a consumer-friendly decision from a consumer aspect, but it was the deathbed for the console because as you know, you're giving away a $60, $70 game. There is no way, unless your subscription service is in the 100 millions, 150 million, 200 million, you can't make that up with 30 million subscribers. You can't. You lose out on so much. So Xbox, those were decisions they made last gen. All those decisions were what killed them. Jim Ryan didn't do anything. Jim Ryan, I'm just happy Jim Ryan, they got rid of him, or he retired. He retired sooner. I'm happy with that. But his plan sucked. The man sucked. It is what it is. Damn, everybody left. It's just us two.
I will.
J-Dub didn't like. He's like, I can't tolerate no more Jim Ryan bashing. That's his boy. They're in a country club together. Yeah, listen, man. Jim Ryan and him, they're both country club members. All right.
Listen,
they're gonna go out golfing, and they're gonna talk shit about me.
I will say this. What is it? The argument was, does the digital library lock people down to an ecosystem? I think I have proven sufficiently that it couldn't have, because for most people, it just wouldn't be a thing. It would be an additive thing, of course. It would be a consideration. It would be like me switching from like using Kindle to using, I don't know, Kobo or another e-reader or whatever. I have a lot of ebooks. Yes. And for me, that has a lot of ebooks and I have a lot of money invested, it will be a consideration. But if I started a digital book library on a platform that I only had 10 books on over the last 7 years, and then suddenly something better came along, I wouldn't be opposed to switching. I wouldn't be tied to it. Now you catch that into a whole bunch of other factors like Xbox's poor decisions, including Game Pass and putting games day one on PC, and the general lack of quality that they were able to bring forward. But that wasn't what Phil Spencer was using. He didn't say the worst generation to lose because we made so many mistakes. He said the worst generation to lose because people started building their digital libraries there, which was a tremendously minimal factor. In fact, we can prove it because if the Steam console comes out and it is something radically compelling, you will have, let's say it comes out at the same time as the next generation. They just time it so that it falls there. So that there is a next Xbox, let's say they're still in it. There is the next PlayStation, the 6, and then there is the Steam machine, and then there's the Switch 2. People that are watching those 3 presentations from, besides the Switch, because it'll already be out, they will consider the Steam machine if it is compelling. They won't go like, oh my God, I had, 7,000 games on PlayStation, because again, most people don't. Most people, again, like, yes, people talked about anecdotal evidence, but I know people that play day in, day out, and they have like 7 titles. Guess why? Because they have like all of the FIFAs, right? And then some of the Maddens or the NBAs, or you can flip those around to whatever sports title. But you look at the libraries, like 20 games, bro. I know people with even less. And again, they see themselves as PlayStation gamers. They're like, yeah, I love my PlayStation. But for them, it's like they love the PlayStation, but if something else was compelling enough, if the Series X had been a super compelling value proposition from the beginning. Let's say it had all of the games, that were coming this year, and they had them at launch, and they had them exclusive, and they had them freaking with Game Pass day and date. A lot of people would have considered switching, or at least adding the Xbox into the gaming rotation, which at the end of the day kind of seems the same from the company's perspective. Microsoft, yes, they want you to have more active playtime on their console, but if they could sell you the product in the first place, they'd be pretty happy with that. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make that point clear. We have to make sure that we get there. Now, if you talk about one thing that Jim Ryan did that I appreciate, and that it was unique, that started definitely with him, is PlayStation Productions. And I know it's not the games, but for me, the Transmedia Initiative is the best way to create more gamers. because they always talk about it. There's 250 million gamers on console worldwide every generation, right? How do you go ahead and you add to that pile so that there's 500 million video game console gamers worldwide every generation? For me, there's two approaches that you can do. Number one, you can try to appeal to the mobile and the PC gamers, which I think is a stupid strategy because those people game on they game in such different ways that they may as well not be counted as part of the same pool. And then there is convert people into gamers. And for me, you have to go and pick them up from other media. You have to go and pick them up from movies, from films, from books. And you have to be like, hey, you like entertainment? Here is something that gaming can do for you. So I think that the transmedia initiative, and I'm not talking about like, I think people go a little bit too far when they talk about creating like a Universal Studios park of like PlayStation characters or like a Nintendo. I think Nintendo has those, right? Like those experience and those rides, and then they convert the IP into like real world places. I don't really care about that, but I do think that it is a positive thing. And Shuhei himself said that, hey, if he was still in charge, he didn't believe in any of the PlayStation TV stuff, you know? So no Last of Us, no Twisted Metal. What's the other one that they did? Uncharted, you know, the whole God of War thing that they were trying to do, the Horizon one that they were trying to do. All of those things were firmly things that happened after Shuhei's tenure. And I'm happy for that. So if we're going to say like, hey, what did he add? Yes, he tried the live service thing. Yes, it has been abysmal. Yes, he deserves crap for that. But he also tried the transmedia thing, which I think overall could be a much more significant thing than people are realizing.
So I don't want to burst your bubble, but the person who thought of the idea was actually, his name is Tony Vinciquerra. When he took over Sony Motion Pictures in 2017, he wanted to collab more and use Sony IPs to make more movies.
And who greenlit it from PlayStation?
Okay. Oh, Jim Ryan.
There you go.
But whose idea was it?
Because they had to be both, right? They had to both agree.
No. Don't. If I come up with an idea and you tell me, hey, that's a good idea, let's do it. I came up with the idea. I said, hey, Extreme.
So wait, if I say, hey, Extreme comes up with a PlayStation 5, does that mean, or the PlayStation 4, does that mean that whoever is in charge no longer gets the credit?
Your idea is a movie-centric idea. You appreciate the medium movies and TV shows.
I appreciate the transmedia.
Okay, so
and
the
have to be both parts, right?
So the person who thought of that said, hey, I have a great idea. I want to use, let's say if I'm Tony and you're Jim, I want to use, hell, it probably even started because he took over in 2017. But let's say it's Jim. I'm not even going to split hairs. Let's say it is Jim. Hey, Jim, hey, I need to talk. I got a great idea. Okay, what's going on? Hey, I got a great idea. I want to start using your IPs. I got some ideas for TV shows and some movies and stuff like that. And you like it. Let's make it happen. Boom. Let's do it. But it's my idea.
Okay.
I thought of it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Jim Ryan.
It's something that came brand new under Jim Ryan, right?
Yeah, but Jim Ryan didn't come up with the idea, bro. I'm sorry.
But he doesn't have to come up with it. He has to green light it.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Just like he came up with live service, he needs to come up to that. He comes up with live service, you failed. All right?
You think that Jim Ryan was the first person to ever think, there should be like live service PlayStation things?
No, but he's the first person to say, put the whatchamacallit, bet it all. You know what I'm saying?
When the budget,
he said, for
PlayStation production, he also agreed for the budget.
My man said, "Hey,
the hate for Jim Ryan is strong."
Hey,
so in one part, he greenlights the project, and you're like, "Yeah, that's your fault." And then the other one, the project works, and you're like, "Yeah, you don't get no credit."
No, because live service, like Jim Ryan's like, "Hey, I want most of the budgets to go to live service."
Yo, that's crazy.
That's his idea.
Okay,
he decided that.
Jim Ryan is the worst.
Let's just goddamn right. He's garbage. He's garbage.
There we go.
They should have never made cookies for him. They should have never gave him a cookie. I would have given him coal. I would have given him a box of coal. That's what he deserves.
That man created the most successful console generation ever.
Listen, I would hire him just to fire him. Listen, I will hire him just so I could fire him publicly. That's why. I will hire him back. Hey, Jim, I want you back. He goes, cool, I'm back. You're fired.
Oh my God.
And put it on YouTube.
Damn. You know, the thing is, I underestimate how much people hate this man. It's crazy.
Because now, I never really hated this man. Now I do. Because he's garbage.
You know what? Jim Ryan created the State of Plays. I like those two. I'm gonna be the Jim Ryan fan on the panel.
He's
in
garbage.
the chat.
The man
There
is
we go.
trash.
He delivered onto me. All of the things I wanted.
He's one step below Donnie D, or 2 steps below, because I think Donnie D did irreparable harm. Let me go through the super chats.
The person that did the most harm to Xbox is Phil Spencer. I don't know how it is that we're still blaming Donnie D for that.
Well, Donnie D, they both suck. Back-to-back trash. You can't have back-to-back trash. So Nishino,
Phil Spencer was literally part of Donnie D's team.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, but they both back. That's what I said. Back-to-back trash. You got trash, and then you got bigger trash. It's just you can't Nishino.
I just want to say if Donnie D had stayed, PlayStation, so the Xbox will not be putting the games on PlayStation. The man had a vision.
If Donnie D had stayed, that thing would have ended that gen.
I don't think
Xbox would have been. Yes, it was.
I don't think so. They already started reversing a lot of the decision on the Donnie D. They just got rid of him because they needed a fall guy.
Well, yeah, but if what you call it, not to backtrack, but not even backtrack with him, right? That was his plan. That was your idea. This was the future Xbox, and it sucks. So you got to go. What? You're gonna give the guy who made a shitty, excuse my language, a bad plan? Well, give it another go. What new console going to take Xbox forward? Well, I don't have nothing. This was my idea. This was it. This is it. This is my idea. Because think about it. Think about it. He at the very least, in fact, he's much worse than Jim Ryan because, like I said, at least Jim Ryan allowed plans that were the stuff that's good. He kept it going. He was smart enough to be like, all right, we're gonna keep this going.
But so did Donnie D.
But no. Had
exclusives like Rise and everything releasing day one on the console.
Donnie D screwed up because the main thing that Peter Moore did was go after the big third party exclusives, the big titles. You gotta go for it. He didn't do that. He reduced the budget because he put that money towards Kinect. Kinect was his baby.
But Kinect was also a tremendous success when it came out.
Okay, what?
Kinect was also a tremendous success when it came out.
Yeah, but so was the third. So he had, and guess what? The vision flopped. He should have maintained Peter Moore's vision. Should have maintained it because it worked, right?
I mean, it was Donnie D.
Listen, it was Donnie D. where Halo, Gears, and Forza mantra began.
Okay,
it was under his tutelage.
But I will also say this. The thing is, if a leader with a vision is better than a leader that has to flip-flop the way that Phil Spencer has. Because the truth is that Phil Spencer vacillates from one side to another. You've heard him say before, exclusives are underway, or even single player. Remember, he went after single player games, right? And then he went back, and then he goes forth, and then he goes back. The thing about that I appreciate about someone like Donnie D is that, yes, his original concept was flawed, especially the TV, because I never understood how that was going to work worldwide. But I feel that if he got into his next idea and that idea was good, he would have stuck to
it. So you're making an assumption he had another good idea.
Yes.
No. And listen, any man
because the thing is, even the TV thing, it's like the idea wasn't even that bad. It's just that it was divorced from what a gaming console should be. That should have been another product category altogether. That should have been a freaking Google Chromecast, because really that's what he was talking about. If you think about it, everything he was saying, except for the recording like VCR thing, or like DVR, I think they call it. Except for that, a Chromecast can do that.
Yeah, but nobody's looking for Chromecast to play games.
That's what I'm saying. Like he had a good idea, he just put it in the wrong product. So if he could just get his mind to remember that this is a gaming product,
he should have been another department. He should have been the TV department.
Yes, that's what I'm saying though. But look, he got so close
in the gaming department. It sucked ass.
Listen, imagine this. He was like LeBron playing baseball. No, was it? It wasn't LeBron. It was that guy Jordan. Was it Jordan, the basketballer that went to try to play baseball?
Went to play baseball, yeah.
And then he sucked. It's like, no, you're still a great athlete. You're just in the wrong sport. But if we could get you to be good at this sport, you'll be great. So I appreciate that.
All right, let me do these super chats. Oh, I got so many. All right. So JLou83 HD2 was greenlit under Yoshida Layden. Huh? So damn. So Jim Ryan doesn't even get that. I was trying to throw a man a bone. Well, they're saying Helldivers 2 is greenlit under Yoshida Layden.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you can't.
So he doesn't even. So then he doesn't even get that. What did he
again?
do?
If you guys are going to score by like original concept date, you guys are going to be playing this game until like 2040.
No, we're not, because he didn't do nothing. Jim Ryan do nothing. Why are we gonna get Jim Ryan 4 years from now? Nothing. He did nothing. We're gonna get nothing from him. Liquidator. All the stuff that he said he wanted got canceled. No, you know what? You got Fair Games. Good luck with that.
Is that still coming? No, we canceling that one. I don't know. We canceling that one.
Now supposedly got delayed. That sounds
it better be canceled. It better be canceled. The moment I saw that, I was like, we're not fighting this one. No. I noped it like the movie. Nope. Not doing that. I noped it like a black person in a horror movie. I'm not going to that house on the hill.
Yeah, we don't do that. Like us too.
I'm going home.
You know, we got our white friends. We got our white friends. Hey, what's that noise? Let's investigate. Me and you're like, no, we don't need to investigate.
No, that's the Fair Games.
True story.
That's the Fair Games right there.
True story, people. I'm gonna tell you a true story. So in my house in North Carolina, we had our niece visit us. Right? She had this little like flat piano, but it doesn't have keys. It's like touch sensitive. Right? It's really touch sensitive. Right, so it's not like actual keys; it's just flat panel, maybe touch.
Capacity touch screen.
You press one button, it's playing the whole tune, right? Because our niece was like 3 years old, 4 years old, so she's not Liberace, so she would hit one thing, okay, whatever. So my wife had to take a bath. She brought the little piano there. She's taking a bath, playing the piano, whatever. Okay, we put her to bed, right? But they left the piano in the bathroom. Okay, 3 a.m, that thing starts blaring loud, starts playing, blah, 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 blah. My wife looks at me like, you're not going to check? I'm like, listen, whoever's in there, let them play. I swear to God. I said, I could put her online right now and she'll tell you. I told her, listen, whatever's in there, let them enjoy the piano. They just want to play the piano. Let them play the piano. It's fine. She's like, are you serious? We know there's no person in that room. There's no human being because I just took a shit. So I know nobody's there. So if someone's there, let them play the piano. It's cool. I don't have a problem. If you have a problem, you can look. She's like, no, I'm good. I'm good too. And we went back to sleep. I swear to God, I did not look because I know there's nobody in there. I know that. I know there's no physical human being in there. But whatever was in there, they just wanted to hear that song. It lasted like 2 minutes. It finished. I'm good. I don't need to investigate.
And that is how you didn't die.
And guess what? No problem since. My house is intact. Everybody's fine, healthy. Hell, I think they're protecting us for all I know because I let them play the piano. So whatever play the piano, let them enjoy life. If I wouldn't in the bathroom and stopped them, who knows? I probably wouldn't be here right now. I'll probably be in one of those documentaries, probably hanging from a damn fan. You know what I'm saying? And they would have said he didn't let me play the piano in blood. People would be confused. Like,
and your wife will be in prison.
Because they'll blame her. She's like, she'll tell the story. I didn't do it. So anyway, we didn't investigate.
And then your house value. Look what would have happened to your house value.
Would have plummeted. Dead, so I don't care. Like, can't take it with you. All right.
Your little brother would have cared. His inheritance. Your daughter would have been like, my inheritance.
You asked out. Like,
my college fund.
Girl, stay away. Get out. Stanley Buffington. So who gets credit for Intergalactic? You know what I'm saying? Thank God, Naughty Dog.
Right. Naughty Dog. There we go.
We're not giving Jim Ryan nothing.
Nothing.
I'm not giving him credit. Nothing. Listen, he doesn't even deserve the cookie. He lucky he got that. All right?
Listen.
Jimmy Harrison, my brothers. Good to see you all. Extreme is the truth. Man, they love Extreme.
As always, man. As always.
Joe J Row 49 with the super chat, just there showing love. Liquid Data, digital is about convenience, and with digital you can never sell out of it. I mean, for the business, yeah. I mean, there's no shelf space. PS4 sold 1.6 billion units of software, over 60% of which is digital. Xbox One didn't even sniff 500 million units of software. Feels right. Oh, 1.6
He's
billion
really not.
versus 500 million. Listen, I think we're at the point you're not going to give Phil props. I'm not giving. Can we agree? Phil gets no props. Jim Ryan gets no props.
I mean, here's the thing.
Fair trade? Hey, fair trade. I'm looking for a trade.
Sure.
Okay, there we go.
Sure.
Fair trade.
No problem.
Fair trade.
No problem.
TruckNet. Xbox digital copies are far more valuable. You get the PC copy as well. Free game updates, better than PlayStation remasters. So this is the thing. I'm gonna push back on that PC thing. The free PC copy is irrelevant unless you have that platform. That's why the whole entitlement thing, I don't see it as a selling point, right? Because you're going to say, hey, get an Xbox, because when you buy the Xbox version, you get the PC version. So I got to buy two platforms? Like, how is that a benefit to me? I can understand for the small niche group that has multiple platforms, cool. I got it. But for the majority, you're not going to buy an Xbox and a PC so you can enjoy this entitlement. You know, to me, the ones who probably are enjoying it the most are the PC gamers who play on Steam and they got a Steam Deck. And they could play on a handheld because now you got two unique experiences. To me, the entitlement between a console and a PC, they're not that far different because you're in the same house. And it's a box connected to some type of screen. Like, who cares?
I really think you're underselling the misery of playing on PC. Because playing on PC is fucking miserable.
Listen,
it's
I'm not gonna
fucking miserable.
No.
We're gonna get into it.
What I am saying, entitlement to me,
Liquidator says you miss his super chat. I don't want to.
There you go.
Liquidator says you miss his first super chat. So go ahead and
let me go up. All right, let me see. Let me go back. Let me look.
Because the people.
Yeah. Okay, Liquidator. I don't think it's a live service strategy. I think it's a games they were making for live service, just wasn't it. Besides Helldivers. So, I mean, I 50-50 agree with Liquidator. But I think inherently, if we've seen the vast amount of games live service, there is a high rate of failure. There is a really high rate of failure compared to the ones that are successes. If you look, again...
My only thing with that is that there's also a high rate of failure with single-player games. Mm-hmm. You know, people... You know, Gravity Rush happened. Concrete Genie happened. Mm-hmm. Dreams happened. You know, the thing is, we don't give them the same amount of flag because they were busted up by the successful single player games. You know,
I agree.
So I'm saying gaming is a creative endeavor.
I will say this though: Gravity Rush failed because Gravity Rush. The problem with live service game is your success is based on how well you can compete with the established sites. That's the thing. When we talk about live service, we're talking about games that people play perpetually for a long time. That means a successful game that came out 10 years ago that's still valid, like Fortnite. Fortnite is still a competitor to any new live service game that comes out. When Wolverine comes out, let's say if it fails, let's say for whatever reason, woke, I don't know, Sweet Baby Inc., I don't know, any stupid reason. Let's say for whatever reason, it just doesn't hit. It's not going to be because more people choose to buy Spider-Man 2. You know what I'm saying? The big first-party titles is not going to interfere with Wolverine or, you know, future X-Men games or Ghost of Yotai. They don't have to compete, you know, unless you come out on the same month of Grand Theft Auto 6, then you're kind of screwed. You kind of
Horizon 3? What?
Yeah.
Horizon 3? Yeah.
What happened?
Horizon 3?
Yeah.
Horizon 3? Of course, we know.
You know,
we know.
You better, yeah. But you see what? Oh yeah.
If you want to know when GTA 6 is coming, just go to Guerrilla. Don't go to Rockstar. Don't infiltrate them. Infiltrate Guerrilla. Okay. When they're like, so guys, we're thinking 2026. We should be safe, right? It's like, there it is. April 2026.
I think it might come out this year. But the point is, though, if you're gonna make a live service game, you are competing with the people in time of Forza Horizon. I mean, not Forza Horizon. What the hell I'm talking about? Fortnite, Apex, Call of Duty. There's a whole slide. Like right now, whatchamacallit, Matt Piscatella released a new list of engagement. Helldiver's not even on the list anymore. But you know what's still on the list? Fortnite, Madden, 2K, Apex. Now, I'm not saying Helldiver's failed, right? I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it is really tough to compete with these established games that are the most popular. And it doesn't matter when they came out. It's irrelevant. they are as relevant today as a brand new game that comes out today. And that's the challenge of live service. Single players don't have that. If a single player game failed, like for example, Alan Wake 2, sold 2 million, they finally are breaking some money out of it. But Alan Wake didn't fail because of other single player games. It just fell because most people weren't interested in it. That's the life of a single player. And I think that's a safer bet because your success of a single player game rides on the game itself. You're not relying on who can I pull to make this game successful, or who can I create?
You've made this point many times. You know, and it's true. It's true every time. You made the point many times, and it's true every time. Because at the end of the day, live service games fundamentally require that they have a consistent fan base that is already in the live service mindset. Because there's some people like you yourself, Porto, you don't give a fuck about live service games, and you're unattracted to them.
You're not going to make a game that's going to pull me in. It's like, I tried with Helldivers. I got 6 hours.
And so we can say like, okay, let's even be generous and let's say 50% of gamers in a live service framework, they could like this thing. There's only so many of them to go around. It's the same problem that the Netflix and everything else are experiencing, because all of these things that require your time way more than they require your money even. Because even if a live service game is paid, it still wants your time, because your time is how they farm more money out of you, you know? So when you require your time more than your money, that's the reason that, you know, we end up with all of these things. Whereas, like you say, single player games are like books. You know, books fail or succeed whether or not they are good or they're well marketed, but no one's going to be like, oh man, I didn't end up reading this book because I was reading this book for the last 10 years continuously, never ending. You know,
you're not on Twilight. You're not reading the Twilight saga forever.
Exactly. You just keep downloading new pages onto my book.
You're not stuck on Lord of the Rings forever. You know, it
exactly.
ends,
I just want to say the whole dual intent before we move forward from dual entitlement. I also don't understand it, because it's like at the end of the day, you are going to either like the PC or the console experience. Mm-hmm. And this idea that people will be flitting back and forth often enough for that thing to be a huge boost, to me, I mean, yes, there's fringe cases. There's some people that are, oh my God, I love doing it. You know, I just play on my console, then I just get up in the middle of the thing and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go to my PC. And then I just get off of my PC. I'm like, oh, let's go to my console now. It's weird. But then the other thing I wanted to say is that it's hypocritical to me from PC gamers, especially like people that primarily say they play on PC, because these motherfuckers never want to get away from Steam. And in order to make use of that thing, you have to go through the Xbox store. Yeah. You know? And then cue someone telling me like, oh, you can get GOG launcher or some whatever the fuck, who's going to like aggregate all of your games stored on your PC and it's going to make it all seamless. Just shut the fuck up. Yeah. Even what you're saying is disgusting. It's so complicated. You have to get another thing to then aggregate your thing from different resources, like it's a fucking kaleidoscope or something. That is a movie thing. But the point is, it's just fucking miserable to play on PC. So, and I just couldn't let the moment go by without reminding you guys that, like, if you play on PC, like, why don't you like yourself? Oh, you know, my God. Especially if you play console games on PC. It just not like if you play real PC games, that's fine, because that's the only place that are available, right? And some of the games are better with the control scheme of keyboard and mouse. I understand that perfectly. You're good. You're great. You're fantastic. Men want to be you. Women want to be with you. You're fantastic. You're golden. This doesn't involve you. Okay? And if, like, even 10% of your library has those games, and that's why you play on PC, that makes perfect sense. Because, like, exclusives, like, on console, less than 10% of them are, So that's perfectly fine. Like, even if 2% of your games are like that, you're good. You're a fantastic person. Man or woman, you're great. But here's the thing. If you're one of these fucking sad people that go ahead and only play console games on PC, why are you a miserable person?
Oh,
why aren't you?
I'm gonna be
why
on
aren't you
every,
a good person?
Man, I already see people gonna do reaction videos on this. At least a black this side of the screen. I should, you know what?
First,
I'm gonna give you.
First of all,
There you go. You get that's it, bro. You should have. That's it. The camera. That's it. You get front and center stage. This is you. This is all you, buddy.
Turn off the camera.
There we go. There we go. There you go. There we go.
Turn the TV off.
That's it. That's all you. That's all you. There you got this.
No, but listen. Now that I've got the center stage, I just want to say, if you are a console gamer, like you play games that were primarily designed to be played on a console, and you play them on PC, don't be miserable. Don't be. You know you hate it. You don't want it. Do you know why you used to be a console gamer? Because it was better. PCs always existed. Why are you deluding yourself if you think it's a better experience? Also, why would you want to have it twice? Think about it. Like, that's even worse. If you buy a console game on Steam, again, you have no choice. But the moment that the Steam console comes out, you do know you're coming back, right? Like, you do know you're miserable where you are, right? And also, if you have dual entitlement from Xbox games, and you have the Xbox console and the Xbox console, tell me, how do you do this to yourself? How do you physically walk over to a personal computer and you're like, yeah, let me have a worse experience now. Let me like this game less than I would otherwise by playing it on this disgusting platform run by fucking Windows. At least if you're running a Linux machine, I will understand, but you're playing on a Windows machine. Aren't you ashamed of yourself when you have another option there in the house that's actually enjoyable? And I mean, any console is enjoyable better compared to PC. I mean, any of them. The fucking Ouya is better than playing on PC. Let's be honest. Let's face it, PC gamers that are willingly going over a console to play the same game they already have access to on console, on that PC, dude, come on. Your life is already hard enough. Don't make it like this. Do yourself a favor. Get back on your couch on a big screen with your sound system, whether that's a soundbar or like a huge 7.1 system or 7.2.4. Go ahead and enjoy that experience. Don't wear fucking headphones playing your cinematic, story-driven games. Really? Come on. Okay, public service announcements done.
All right. Okay. So let me go back. I can show my face. Enjoy I can't wait to see the reactions and commentary over that one. And JFK
First of all, no one
TV.
does reaction on me.
I know, right?
I've never seen a reaction on me.
We're about to see one now. JFK TV. We're going to see one now. You're about to be famous. JFK TV.
Listen.
just came to say F Jim Ryan and may he have a couple of bad days from now until PlayStation's first party studios get back in rhythm. Peace. Oh man, here we go. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hit the like button. I put up a poll. Jim Ryan report card. We're going to finalize it. We're going to let the community decide. You decide the fate of Jim Ryan. All right? Obviously, you heard us. But at the end of the day, it's you guys who watch. You guys determine the fate of Jim Ryan. How well he did. Next topic. So, should PlayStation help Xbox gamers? And what I mean by that is, the place of, facts and news is Icon Era. No, but they had a discussion, right? They weren't reporting news, but a discussion was come up, and I'm going to read it. It says, PlayStation should have an initiative to help Xbox players save their game library in the case Xbox hardware ends. And then this was from the founder, and this is his idea. We have all seen how Xbox hardware sales are trending sharply downwards. It must be concerning for Xbox users that have invested in a library of games going back to the 360, etc. My suggestion is that PlayStation offer a targeted sale of games that these Xbox owners already own, or a conversion service that allows access to almost all of these games they owned on Xbox for a one-time fee. This will extend an olive branch being in new users and future revenue. It will also preserve the game libraries and investment in games that people have. I doubt PC or anyone else is in a position to offer something like this. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, this is a great time to remind those Xbox owners that you have dual entitlement. So if you want to make yourself miserable, you can just go and play those games over on PC because you already own them. It's great. It's fantastic. You're going to love PC. It's like you walk as if you just sit at a workstation, Okay, you turn on Windows, it updates 7 times, it fucks up your drivers for no reason. Okay, suddenly you don't get audio, your microphone doesn't work, you have 17 programs running in the background, you don't have quick resume anymore since you were, one of those what is it? Xbox gamers that had quick resume, which by the way, quick resume is a genuinely fantastic feature. Okay. And you just get to have that experience, but on a worse chair, in a worse room of your house, more separated from your kids, your wife, your family, or your friends. And you look like one of those nerds that in the 1990s they used to portray us as a basement dweller, a freaking gnome that society left behind, rightfully so. So if you want all of that, I just want you to know that dual entitlement is already a thing on Xbox. So you could just go to, over there. Now, let's say you don't want to be a miserable son of a person, and you want to play on a console. Here is what you can do. This service that this person is proposing, thankfully, for the most part, already exists. Okay? It's called Buying Your Games Again on PlayStation. There you go. There's no need for a social structure. Because here's the thing, it will be stupid because most of you wouldn't even want to pay for all of your games again. So if I come up with a one-time fee for you, you've got 1,000 games on Xbox. Let's say you're one of the outliers, okay? And I'm like, okay, for 1,000 games, I'm going to sell them all to you at $10 each. That's $10,000. That doesn't even make any sense, right?
I'm not going to rebuy it.
That doesn't make any sense. You will only want to rebuy maybe 20 of those games, maybe 15. So just instead of paying $10,000, because remember, a game at $10 is a great deal, right? Let's make it $5. You've got 1,000 games. I'm making $5 for all of them. That's $5,000. It doesn't make sense. What this guy is saying is so stupid.
Yeah, there's no way. Yeah.
Because the only people who would want such a service are people that are heavily invested because they don't want to just walk away from 1,000 games. If a person, like I've been saying before, if a person only has 14 games on the Xbox, they will just walk away from it. So there's no point in them having such a service. The only person that will be interested in such a service is a person for whom such a service will be too expensive to make that service attractive. So then do what I just said and just buy your games a la carte for the ones that are worth keeping, okay? And it's no problem, guys. People do this all the time. You move houses, you go to a new country, you couldn't carry all of your books with you. So what do you do when you get to that new country and you want those books back? You go down to the secondhand bookshop and you just buy another copy. Everybody else does it for other media,
So
That's
this
it.
is
buy your games. Also, it will be a great training because on PlayStation, we buy our games. It's fantastic.
But I will say this. Right? When I read that, I'm like, these guys, I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. Like, we can't even get backwards compatibility on the PS3. You think they're gonna cater to you Xbox guys and give you games? Like stop. This is the reality. This is a consequence to people who couldn't read the room for their own product. That's just it. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody who buys an Xbox Series console now, oh man, like you really missed you are really uninformed right now. You are killing yourself.
I just want to say I don't agree with Potterworks' word. I'm compassionate and I care about you. Xbox gamers, clip him this time. Make yourself bigger on the screen.
I will make myself. There's only one way. The only person that could actually make this work is Microsoft themselves through PC and through their Windows Store by making a lot of games work on
dual
PC.
Entitlement.
Dual entitlement, but like the 360 library. Some of those games, they're going to have to do something to make it work. There is no way for it to work, on PlayStation. Like, if you're leaving Xbox and you're going on PlayStation... What happened?
You're anti-gamer.
Listen, I'm pro-realist.
I care about our Xbox brethren.
Listen, but there is it's not a lost story, right? Because the one thing this generation has created, right? Well, really last generation, but really got bigger and better this generation is the subscription services. So technically speaking, if you leave Xbox and you go to PlayStation, you subscribe, I guarantee most of the games, except for the Xbox exclusives from the 360 days, but the majority of third-party games is going to be in the PlayStation library. So you just access, and guess what? You could play them again, and you get trophies. You can rebuild your trophy library. So you don't really have to buy everything. It's in the subscription services and stuff like that. But the only
Stop
way
glazing PlayStation.
the only way these Xbox gamers are gonna have and be able to keep their libraries that they built generations, right? Microsoft's have to figure it out on PC.
Yo,
PlayStation.
can we just talk about the audacity of that article or something? It just shows you that the journalism makes no sense. This would be like.
Let me show you where it's at. Where is that?
Was it a journalist?
It was a post in a forum.
Okay, good. Because I'm gonna say, like, Jesus Christ, the barrier for entry is just so low. It might as well be in hell. You know, because listen, this will be like a person saying, like, "Oh man, listen, I've invested so much on the Android apps. Now I want to convert over to iOS, and I have to buy those apps again." And they go over there to Apple, and they're like, "Hey, so I already paid for these apps on someone else's platform. Could you make me like a cheaper fee, a one-time conversion fee for me on iOS?" They'll be like, "Yeah, we'll make it multiple one-time conversion fees as you buy those apps again in our store." It's incredibly entitled to think that one platform provider needs to pave the way for people to keep their libraries to honor the libraries that they made on other consoles or other platforms. You know, imagine if you went to Epic and you're like, "Listen, Epic, you're on PC, you know, miserable platform that it is. You know, Steam is on PC, miserable platform that it is, right? You're both here. Could you honor my purchases on your store, please?" It's funny. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I'm gonna walk into Adidas and be like, "Hey, I bought a shoe from Nike, but I really want this Adidas. Who? Could you?" I'm gonna walk into Adidas.
Who?
And be like, "What do you call it?"
Adidas.
Okay, Adidas.
Who the hell is Adidas? Adidas. It's Adidas. I'm like, who?
I'm
Adidas.
going to walk.
Let
me make my joke.
Adidas. They're like, who
I'm going to walk.
Adidas. I'm like, Adidas. I'm like, who? Adidas. It's Adidas.
I'm going to walk into Reebok. Did I say that wrong?
I'll take that. Okay, no, you got that one right.
And be
Adidas.
like, I bought a bunch of shoes.
That sounds like Nike. A game. But that's Naughty Dog's next game. Adidas.
What to you by Americans and the way they think the way they pronounce it? No wonder y'all
suck at breakdancing. Y'all been wearing Adidas.
My God.
They've been breaking with Adidas. Bro, you gotta get them Adidas. You know, listen, you never heard of Run DMC? My Adidas. That's how the song goes. My Adidas. It doesn't go my Adidas.
I'm just gonna go back.
That's not a good rap song. That's not a good rap song. My Adidas. Not a good rap song. It's my Adidas.
First of all, what makes you think that the way you say it is the correct way?
Right? Because there's a song. There's a song. Yes, it's Run DMC. Right? It's right. And plus, you guys suck at breakdancing, so you can't argue.
Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm not even sure what that has to do with breakdancing thing. But I hate that woman. So, I've never actually seen the entire video because I'm just I can't be bothered. The shame she put on our nation.
She did. You gotta jail her. You have to put like away.
You know what she dances like? She dances like a PC gamer. Let me tell you.
This guy, he threw. He is not correct. It is not Adidas. That is ridiculous. I'm like, what are we talking about here? It's Adidas. Oh, Adidas. God. Adidas.
Okay. Right. My joke was, if I walk into Adidas with a Nike product, they're not going to honor my purchase of that shoe in order to convert to the ecosystem. Damn. Finally, we did it. We made the joke.
Oh, man. I'm about to start I'm gonna start that new poll next week. That's gonna be next week's topic.
Also, I have a small in-between topic I want to talk about.
Okay.
Speaking on PC, it is with great shame and great regret in my heart that I have to tell you that I will unfortunately be playing a game on my PC again. And I'll be using PC Game Pass to do it.
Oh, what game?
Unfortunately, with tremendous regret, I have to try out South of Midnight. Did you see the previews coming out for this game?
Not even gonna hate. The game looks amazing. Not even gonna hate.
But the previews are saying it's terrible. And these are previews from people like Dustin, from him. And I'm like, wait, if he is saying that this game has problems, that means it's a catastrophe. So now I have to go in and I have to test the game out myself. I was going to save it for my beautiful PlayStation 5 Pro. I was going to save it and just go in like a virgin and going to have a great experience. But now I have to go in and check that it's even worth looking forward to. I hate this. Did you post the song on the chat?
Yes. Everybody say
we just watch it at the end.
Okay.
We just watch it at the end.
No, because I'm gonna get demonetized. No. Watch it on your own time. Right. It's my Adidas. Run DMC.
That's homework.
Okay.
That's
homework. Yes, you guys got homework because we're gonna vote on it. We're gonna vote on it next week.
You're gonna have a report next week on the song.
Or Adidas.
All
right. So anyway, helping that's gotta get that's weird. Days Gone Remaster. All right. Days Gone Remaster. Okay. All right. Here's my question. I wish everybody was here, but here's a question. Do you think PlayStation Plus members that got the game through PlayStation Plus, as part of the monthly download, do you think Sony should also give them the opportunity for the $10 upgrade?
No.
Okay. Your reasons.
If you got the game as part of here's the thing. When you acquire or you buy a product, however it comes to you, it's that product. Yes. You are not entitled to newer editions or newer versions or newer revisions of said product. Obviously, patches aside, we understand that patches are part of the digital life. Here's the thing. When it comes to you buying or acquiring or renting or whatever, a DVD, are you entitled to the Blu-ray? No. That's it. We've got to keep these hard limits. I hate the fact that people treat video games and video game entitlement like it's its own unique thing. If you buy the 2024 Porsche and they've got 2025 new Porsche and they've got better seats, you don't get to swap out your seats. You don't just take it to the dealership.
Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you don't know. But the people like me, I bought Days Gone PS4. I can upgrade it for $10.
I know that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just in case.
Yeah. But the point is, when you got that entitlement, that is something that Sony can choose to do for you. Just like if you bought a Porsche and then they're like, hey, we've got better seats in the new one. Do you want to swap them out? Okay. Right? That's an offer they are making to you, and you choose whether or not you take that offer, right? But you're not entitled to it. Yeah. And I think this is the thing that people need to get right. Like, your entitlement is to the product you were given or you were sold on. That's it. That's what you're entitled to. Every other thing that comes out, every other offer, that is a new thing that will be done, by the company or by you. You make that agreement anew. But your agreement, because otherwise people will be like, oh, I buy Intergalactic. 10 years from now, they come up with the remake. I'm automatically entitled to have that remake for free. In fact, that's the same reason that people talk about how this thing should come for free. Because they feel like, oh, I bought this thing one time 10 years ago. I'm entitled to whatever new version. Like, it's got some kind of like lifetime entitlement to the thing. I don't think so. I think no. You bought that thing on that day. So for the people on PlayStation Plus, like myself, I got Days Gone through PlayStation Plus, right? When I got that version, the money that I paid for that month entitled me to that game and that product the way that it was. It never said anywhere on the tin, you will be entitled to upgrade this version to this or that. In fact, if I want to buy Days Gone now, even digitally, even though I have it through PS Plus, it doesn't give me a discount. It's not like, oh, you already redeemed this game. You want to own it? Here's a discount. No, I might find it on sale when it's put on offer. But, one does not entitle me to the other. You are entitled to what you bought, and that's it. If the company wants to now, I don't know, for a consumer move where it doesn't cost them that much, or do this or do that, and they give you an offer to do this thing, that's fantastic. That's something for you to say yes or no to, but you were never entitled to it.
Okay. So, here's my thing. So generally, I say 99% of the conversation is entitlement, right? People are saying no, PS Plus users don't get to be able to do the $10 upgrade because they didn't buy it. The people who purchased it, according to Sony, they get to do it. If you didn't buy it, you have to buy the $40 upgrade. My point actually has nothing to do with entitlement or if they should do it because of entitlement. It's kind of hard for me to make the point on Twitter. This is why I'm glad to hear it on the podcast. My thing is, what is this remaster really about? It's really about, at least what I think is gauging the community for a potential green light to Days Gone 2. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I would like to think everybody is hoping that they do a Days Gone 2. I think that's what a lot of people is, right? And to me, how I think about it is, I don't really care about the entitlement. I mean, we can argue about that, but I see a different mission we should all be focused on. And that mission is, how can we use this remaster to show Sony, yes, green light of Days Gone 2. And to me, the best way to do it is how many new people jump on this. Now, of course, you're going to get those who bought a PlayStation 5. They didn't own a PlayStation 4. They'll see this remaster for $40. That's one group you're going to get to jump on this game.
Like me.
Yeah, like him, okay? But another new group that you have is the people that were on PlayStation 4 and they weren't originally interested in the game. So they never bought it. They only own it because they got it as a free download. You know, I ain't going to say free, but as part of the subscription service, it became a monthly download and they downloaded it. Some may have played it. I would say, like you said, some people download games, they don't even play it, right? I think at this point in time, there's probably a lot of gamers who downloaded the game, but because it's a PS4 game, they're not really going to play it. They claimed it, and they'd be like, oh, I'll get to it one day, but they're like, they probably forgotten all about it, right? They just, every month, they're always claiming something. It's probably deep in the archive, forgotten. It's in the pits of hell. They're not going to play it, they just moved on, whatever. I think if Sony would have offered the $10 upgrade to them also, you would rejuvenate new interest from the gamers who never played the game before. And they have it. They're like, oh, I have that. Oh, shit, if I pay $10, I could play the PS5 version? You know what? Let me pull out an archive. Let me pay the $10. Let me try this game out. See what the hype is about. You understand what I'm saying? Because the truth is, the people who already bought the game, like myself, Jay Bari, to pay the $60, we're not going to influence any decision on the Days Gone sequel. If we didn't influence the decision when we paid $60, what are we going to do with $10? That's nothing. We already played it. Sony knows. Jay Bari, I think he actually bought the $40 one, right? It doesn't matter because they know it's the same user. They're like, Jay Bari bought the game again. Sorry, Jay Bari. We didn't greenlight the game the first time around. We're not going to greenlight it. You can't have this.
Why did you buy the $40 edition though? Why not just do the upgrade?
I'm thinking. He pre-ordered it. So
okay, I think he pre-ordered the upgrade though, right?
Maybe, I don't know. I think he pre-ordered.
Well, listen, if you didn't have the game before, that's perfectly fine. But look, to me, the community is coming from an entitlement perspective. That's really it. Because we hear all the time, Horizon, even the remakes that are like, this should have been offered for free. And I'm like, no, that's work. People work on that shit. You wouldn't work for free, So I don't expect anyone to work for free. Listen, I'm one of the people that got it through PlayStation Plus. I am not entitled, nor do I expect to be entitled to having the upgrade on offer. That is like even you, I beat it, platinum, loved it.
So at least you did your part.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I think we need to get people. I don't want to say we're influencers, but I get the entitlement argument. But to me, that doesn't help the main goal. The main goal is Days Gone 2.
But I don't feel like it's the main goal.
You don't think Days Gone 2 is the main goal?
I think that the point of remasters and remakes is to update, and move forward with the generations. I'm a big supporter of remasters and remakes for numerous reasons. One of those reasons is that there was a PlayStation 4 spec for the game because it came out on the PlayStation 4, right? Then eventually they did PlayStation 4 Pro spec. Then they jumped and they did a PC spec, which is the highest spec of the game, right? If you've got the hardware, that's where the game will look and run its best. But there was this gap in the lineup, right? If you had a PS5, you have better hardware than PlayStation 4 Pro, but you couldn't get a spec that will be customized and tailored to your console. So for a PlayStation 5 customer, you've got the better hardware, but unlike PC, you can't just unlock more features. So I think that as part of just maintenance and upkeep for the most popular titles, there is a duty of care that PlayStation has to create remasters and remakes for that particular hardware spec. To be like, hey, if you want to play this game using the full power of what you have in front of you, the PlayStation 5 Pro, let's say, right? Because imagine you're the PlayStation 5 Pro, but you're playing the PlayStation 4 Pro version at best, right? There's a gap there. The PC people, their performance is justified, so they get to take full advantage of that. The PlayStation 4 Pro people, their performance is maximized. You're sitting in this weird place where you pay more money than the PlayStation 4 Pro, but not really getting better performance that is significant. So I think that just maintaining that for your customer makes a lot of sense to me. Then, of course, there is, the arguments I've always made before, where remasters and remakes are a chance to refresh for the people. Like, is it just Prince or the Prince? Jesus Christ. It only says J.
Prince TV is me.
Yeah, Prince. Yeah. Like the Prince over here, who hasn't played the game and has now the opportunity to play for the first time. I think that's what it's about. I don't know. I wouldn't tie this in my mind to a Days Gone 2, because even if this game sells, I don't know, 10 million copies, that doesn't guarantee that they are going to do a Days Gone 2. And I don't think that the community should put that in their mind as this is what it's about, because I think you're setting yourself up for potential failure there.
But at least they could try. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have a lot of people who downloaded the game but didn't play it, and you be like, you know what? Take out $10. Give me your $10. Get something out of it, because they're most likely not going to buy the $40 one.
But those $10, like you said, aren't going to be enough. Guess what? The $40.
But the real data is them playing the game.
The real data is them buying the game.
No,
the real data is how much money people put down.
But the problem is, if they got it as a free download, and now they're told, hey, you can't get the $10 upgrade, you have to pay the full $40. They're gonna be like, I'm not worried about it. They didn't buy it the first time. They got it for free. Didn't really play it.
But then that means they were never your client. Like, you can't convince people. People that are not your client are not your client. It doesn't matter how good of a deal you make it. You could give it for free, and then they'll just be like, "Oh no, I still don't care."
I mean, there's an attempt. Like, to me, there's no harm. There's really no harm in giving the PS Plus users for $10. There's really no harm.
We can take a look at completion trophies, right? Mm-hmm. People who bought, for example, let's take a Last of Us, right? Last of Us, let's take the Last of Us Part 2, because I had the highest completed percentage of like almost any game. Nearly 60% of people finished the game. Do you think Sony cares about the 40% that didn't? No. If we're going to get a Last of Us Part 3 or a next Naughty Dog project, because of the 100% of people that put their money down, we don't like, yes, it's nice if you had a 99% completion percentage. That would be fantastic. But after they pay the money, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter how much time they put on it.
I don't think 99% is the metric they use. I think 40 to 50 is the metric. Like a 40 or 50% completion rate.
But guess what? But guess what greenlights the next project? The 100% of the money people put down. So what I'm saying is, if you want to send Sony a message, like, I agree with you. This is for people that say we want a Days Gone 2. Go ahead and upgrade your game if you have that option. Pay for it brand new if you can, or buy it when it's on sale at your leisure, But every single time you put your money down and you say, I am in support of this project, I'm in support of this direction for the studio, that will have an influence. This is your opportunity to send that message. But do understand that your $40 will send a louder message than your $10. So...
But that's the thing. The people who are that's what I was saying before. The people who want the sequel the most, they already bought the game.
I don't think so. I think a lot of people are talking. No. I think a lot of people are talking and they never paid for this game.
So that's even worse,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. They were never your customers because they're just shouting from the sidelines.
I would say this, like J Barry's, the J Dubs, even a lot of people.
I wanted Days Gone 2.
But a lot of people.
I wanted Days Gone 2. I played it and I loved it.
But guess what? Your data of showing you beat it is showing that Sony's like, hey, this guy really liked the game and stuff like that. Because man, there's 2 data points. It's the sales, but there's also people actually playing the game. Because you can sell a game for like 10. Like, here's the thing. Technically speaking, Days Gone from a sales number did fine when you look at it compared to Ghost of Tsushima. They're both in the 8 million sell range. But there's something about Days Gone that they didn't like, or at least not the Sony. Critical reception. But, things like that, right? So to really break out the mode, you need more people. And it's the same people buying the game is not going to change anything. It's the same people. And if the same people who paid $60 originally didn't make Sony Ben be like, oh, we got to make a Days Gone 2, then what is paying $40 going to do for the same
Let me put it this way. If you're not willing to put $40,
you need new people.
Yes, I'm just saying, if you're not willing to put $40,
will buy it.
If you're not willing to put down $40 for Days Gone Remastered, assuming you didn't play it, right? Then you're not going to be, why would Sony think you'd be willing to put $70 for Days Gone 2? You get what I mean?
No, because the people who probably won't put 40 is because they have the game. Let me put it this way.
I'm saying for the people that haven't played it. I'm talking about the people that haven't played it.
Don't own it.
That don't own it and they haven't played it. If they are not willing to put down $40 for this game as it is, why would you assume they are willing to pay $70 for the next version that's going to cost more money?
That's not the group I'm talking about. Because the new people is 50-50. They're either going to pay the $40 because they're interested or they're not. What I'm talking about is the people that's on PlayStation, didn't buy the game at all. They got it as a download. They're like, cool, I have it in my library. Now they find out.
But they haven't played it, right?
They haven't played it, because they just downloaded it. Now you have the opportunity to say, hey, you guys, $10 upgrade, you could play the PS5 version. That might spark interest. Be like, you know what? Let me pay the $10.
So hold on. What you're saying is the people at Costco that I gave the free sample, or nearly free sample, because I had to pay for the Costco membership to get in. I gave the free sample to my hair product, shampoo or whatever. They refuse to use it, even though they have it somewhere lying in the bathroom. They don't want to use it, right? And then I come up with an even better formula, and now I'm supposed to give these people the product at a discounted price when they wouldn't even use the version they already had?
No, that's not the same. That's not the same scenario.
It's the same thing.
No, it's the same because the reason why I'm saying is you got the PlayStation 4. It probably just got shuffled in the backlog, and now in 2025, a PS4 game, a lot of gamers ain't worrying about PS4 games in 2025. They're just simply.
I'm sorry, but the thing is, I don't understand why they'll be entitled to it, though.
No, I'm not saying to stop using the word entitled. I'm not arguing that. I'm not saying anybody's entitled to anything. What I'm trying to see, you're trying to trap me. No one's entitled to anything. I'm not using that argument. What I'm trying to say is, you have a group of gamers that have this game, right? They're players that haven't played the game. Who knows how many downloaded it? Sony has the opportunity to be like, you know what? Let's try to reach out to these games that we know they have it because we see it. Hey, $10 upgrade, you could play the PS5 version. They might be like, you know what? Cool. Pay the $10. They start playing it. Depending on the play hours, beating completions, Sony could see that and they'll be like, you know what? These new guys are enjoying the game. I think we
then what data does that send? They're going to buy the next game at $10?
What if 4 million people buy? What if
the point is
4 million people buy that remaster? That's enough to greenlight a part 2.
Maybe. Could be. The main thing is, the main thing is you got gamers who didn't play the game, get them to play the game, and they might be like, man, this game is awesome. I want a sequel. But right now, that's not going to happen because you're not going to get them to pay the $40 because they'll be like, I own the game. How come they just don't give me the $10 upgrade? Whatever. I'm not worried about it.
But you don't own the game. That's the thing. It's not an
No. Meaning they own the game in the sense that they have access to play it. They should be able to $10, whatever.
But again, it's like
the main thing is this: if you want new gamers, you got to pull them in. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna.
I just feel like these people were never interested and are not going to be interested. I just feel like you don't have to go all the way there.
Let me put it this way: what if Sony did do it? What's the loss? There's no loss.
$30 for potential every single time.
No, there's no potential because they're not going to buy it. If they have a version of the game, if they have access to a version of the game, they're not going to pay $40 when they know there's a $10 upgrade that's viable.
Then they can just wait until the game goes down in sale.
What happened?
then they can just wait until the game goes down in sale.
$10. $10.
Sure, but again,
then,
I just
but the whole point is,
I don't think it would be a smart move. I know what you're trying to get to, as in like you'll be enticing new customers into the IP and into the brand.
Yes, that's literally the point.
I get that, but I'm just like,
to make a remaster just for remaster, that's just pointless.
Yeah,
it's just pointless.
No, but it's there for the people that are interested in that. You know, this would be like, I've got a version of Anne of Green Gables in my closet. And then they come up with a brand new edition. And then they're like, oh, you already have a version? We'll give it to you for $2. It doesn't make any sense. If I wasn't going to read Anne of Green Gables after having it for 10 years in my closet, I'm not going to read it now. I just don't think it's a smart move.
That's not the same.
And you're taking a financial loss on it.
No, that's not the same again, because, again, with the $10 upgrade, you get a much better version of the game. Graphically, all the improvements, dual sets, as compared to you downloaded the PS4 version for free, whatever. Then all of a sudden, they tell you, hey, you could play a much better version of this game, dual sense, blah, blah, blah. You could be like, you know what? I'm going to try it out because I got a PS5.
All right, let's get to movies.
$10. All right.
I have The Godfather on DVD for a long time. Then a person creates the 8K Blu-ray version, whatever. And they're like, oh, you had this old thing, you never watched it? Here's the new version for $2. It doesn't make any sense, but I'm still not going to watch it. Right? Because it'll be better.
I would.
But wait a minute. What? What happened?
I mean, you like The Godfather. As you should. As you should. And, I should have taken a movie that wasn't good. Green Lantern. Yeah, a person has a version of Green Lantern in their thing, and then they come up with a brand new remastered version of Green Lantern, the movie, that is with Ryan Reynolds. That's still not going to watch it.
Yeah, because the movie is trash to begin with.
Exactly. If they think that the game wasn't worth playing, I don't think that making it affordable for them to upgrade to the latest version of the game is going to convince them anything.
Actually, I get what he's saying though, right? He is making sense. I mean, if they ain't feeling the game, if they ain't feeling the game, they ain't gonna buy the upgrade.
Okay. Yeah, but that's true. But is that applicable to everybody that has access to the game? Because my point is this: it's not about entitlement. It's not about any of that. It's how many new people you could get to the game that could convince Sony, hey, you know what? We could do a sequel. Because the people that like the game now, they're not gonna greenlight a sequel. If they didn't greenlight a sequel with $60. They're not going to do it at $40. We need new people.
If you happen to be in this position, I'm going to talk to the gamers. We need you. Forget about the company. Forget about the company. Let's talk to the gamers. If you're one of these gamers and you claimed Days Gone on whether it's on Extra or Premium or whatever the hell, you have access to it through PlayStation Plus. So you're not entitled to the $10 upgrade. Here's what you can do. And you haven't started the game, so you don't know if it's worth playing or paying for the upgrade or whatever. Start the game, play the first 6 hours. If you like where it's going, go out and pay for the $40 most updated version and make your decision that way. You can trial it, you don't have to do anything. And then if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, guess what? The remaster isn't going to convince you otherwise. Like, yes, upgraded graphics. Yes, it's going to have some quality of life upgrades. Yes, it's going to have the DualSense, which will be probably the biggest, most noticeable upgrade after the graphics. That's it. Make up your mind. But I really don't think that you would reel in a lot more new customers or interest by simply making that version of the game eligible for the $10 upgrade. I don't think so. I think that at best, the people will pay for the $10 and then they're just going to go right back into the backlog. And they'll say, yeah, I'll play this one of these days.
Let's see. I don't know about that. I think with people playing with new hardware, the thought of playing a PS4 game, especially in 2025, is pretty much done. A lot of gamers probably not gonna want to go back.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting for them to get upgraded to PS5.
You know what I'm saying?
I like collecting physical discs.
Yeah, some of them are like they're not gonna play the PS4. Like they already transitioned away. They want the newest, the latest.
Actually,
whatever.
Quick question, Prince, did you have access through PlayStation Plus your Days Gone?
Yeah, I have access, but I don't do digital really that much anyway.
So,
I like physical.
Okay, cool. So then you decide to go and buy the new one.
Right.
And that's exactly what I'm saying should happen.
Yeah, but I'm gonna buy the new one on PS5. Digital.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Physical version.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The people on PlayStation Plus that want the PS5 version should pay the full price of the game. That's it.
Right.
But if you supported the game in the past, and then Sony's like, hey, here's this olive branch, you go ahead and you get that.
So here's the thing: you said they should. I think it's more of what can you do to entice them to play the game, because they could be like, I'm not doing it, so no loss for me.
But then I feel like they were never going to be interested in the game anyway. Like, I truly don't. Because if they won't even start the game that they already have access to, simply giving them a $10 conversion fee, I don't feel that is enough to even pull them in to try. I don't.
Why not?
I feel like then they'll just be like, fuck it. I feel like they won't even get the $10 fee.
You got the actual. I think some gamers, I think you're being absolute. I think a $10 fee to play the PS5 version is very enticing. When they tell you, hey, we got this game, now it's upgraded for your PS5.
You know what, Porto? I'm sorry, you made me do this.
Let me put it this way.
Let me do my point.
Let's see if it's even 20%.
You have a racing game.
Okay.
In your backlog that they give you for free on your console. No. Let me go to my analogy.
I don't have any racing game in my backlog.
I tell you that, hey, listen, you can have the latest upgraded version of this racing game you didn't give a fuck about that's been in your backlog for years for $10. Are you interested in this game, Pororock?
There's a problem. I don't have racing games downloaded.
No, I'm saying Sony puts it there. You don't have a choice.
I don't have.
They put GT7
I don't care.
free to every PlayStation person.
I will sue him for assault and battery. Because you taking up space that I paid for. They didn't pay. I paid for this. You can't use up my hard drive on shit you want.
They didn't download it to your console.
I will sue them.
I'm saying they added to your digital library.
Then I will sue them for defamation.
Hey, your PlayStation member, PlayStation Plus members, all of you get this racing game. You all get Drive Club. You all get Drive Club, and then the Remaster Drive Club, and they're like, hey, give us $10 for the PS5 version of Drive Club. What are you doing?
I will say them for defamation. I'm suing them for defamation.
Well, there you go. There you go. So you're not interested in the product.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. People that have access to Days Gone, but do not want Days Gone, putting it at $10 isn't going to make them want Days Gone. That's it. It's Drive Club to them.
No, but you're talking about hate towards a franchise. There's people who are neutral to the game. I get to it when I get to it. It's not absolute.
If they are neutral, they can at least try it out.
You're telling me everybody who downloaded Days Gone, they hate Days Gone as much as I hate racing games? No, they wouldn't even bother.
No, I'm saying that the lack of interest that they have isn't going to be converted. They're not going to flip from, this is a one day, maybe forever game, right? Into a, oh my God, I need to play this immediately because you gave me a $10 PS5 version.
No, there's plenty of people who play games once they found out there's an upgraded version to it and when they were never interested in it before. Simply because of performance, graphics, DualSense, 3D audio, all these things that the PS4 didn't provide. Hell, 60 frames alone, I think will get people to play the game. When they be like, oh man, you get to play this game at 60 frames, they're going to be like, wait, what? Oh, I get to play this at 60 frames? I'm going to try it out. That alone
I feel that
gets
what you
people
say
to play
is
the game.
true for people that didn't have the access to the original game. I remember that there is a 60 frame patch on the PS4 version on PS5. That's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm just saying, man, if a person came to you with a remastered Drive Club, the way you will nope it out is the same way that a lot of these people will nope out Days Gone.
Because I hate Drive Club. I wouldn't have the game. That's a bad example. That's like trying to
Gravity Rush.
Okay, what?
Gravity Rush.
I already played it though, so I know I hate it.
Okay, Jusant. I don't know.
How about this?
Game
How about
you're
this?
Not interested in.
I'll tell you games. I have a huge bunch of backlog games, and little by little I'm trying to play.
Okay, what is a game that is just dying in your backlog?
Shit, I have a lot.
Pick one. Okay. Just dying and neutral, not a game where you're like, oh, genuinely, I just keep slotting other games in front of it, but I'm really interested. A neutralized game where you're like, yeah, this is just dying on the vine. And remember that you're not a service gamer, right? So you pay for that game originally, which means you were already interested in that game. These people didn't. They just got it by the service.
I can name you games. I can name you games. In fact, man, hold on. I'll have to look at my thing list. Like what game did I play? No, what game? What game that I'll tell you right now. Even though it didn't have an upgrade, but I'm playing it because I'm catching up to the thing. Is Ghostwire Tokyo? It's not that great, but it is a game I got on PS Plus. But it doesn't really, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll catch up. But the thing is, it's not. To me, it's not a lose-lose. It's a win-win scenario. You know, if you do it and people ignore it, fine, they ignore it. Whatever. They weren't gonna buy the game, whatever. But if you do get people to be like, oh shit, for $10 I could try out Days Gone and upgrade the version I got, you know, that I got for free. I mean, from PS Plus. All right, fuck it, I'll try it. Let me see. It's PS5. Some people ignore. Like right now, you really ain't getting anybody. Period. You got zero. Because I'm telling you, most of those PS Plus guys, they're not going to pay $40 when they say, hold up. You could just give me the upgraded version for 10.
PS Plus guys got it through PS Plus because they didn't give a fuck about the game in the first place. Let's face it. I didn't give a fuck about the game in the first place. So again, that's what I'm saying. If you're starting from a perspective of you didn't give a fuck about this thing and you've had it for years. Because remember, this didn't come out like in January. And people are like, oh shit, I'm still playing Elden Ring or whatever. This came out years and years ago on PlayStation Plus. And they haven't given a fuck about it this time. It's not giving them a $10 upgrade path that's going to suddenly make them be like, all right, you got me. Let's go in. There's people that haven't played Mass Effect, bro.
What happened? For some it might. I don't see why not. For some it might. You tell me, hey, PS5, all this extra stuff, you know what? I'm going to try it out. Some people said good things about it. Now I'm playing the best version for $10.
You're right.
Boom.
Some might, you know, but I just feel like
what I'm saying is I don't think there's a loss for Sony have done that. Nothing. Let me put it this way: there's no negative consequence for them doing that. I don't see a negative in making that move. At best, they still ignore it. Okay, if they ignore it, they ignore it. Now we really know people don't like Days Gone. You can
the negative is that they lose 30% on potential sales because they're going to have people who would have paid the $40 for the new version.
Oh, that now are going to
get
the so they wouldn't pay the $10, but they're going to pay $40.
They would have paid the $40.
Get out of here, bro.
They would have paid the $40.
You just killed your whole argument.
They didn't have access to it.
They're not going to pay $10. No. But they're going to pay $40.
For some people, I'm saying that, no. Understand this. Understand the argument.
Listen.
Understand the argument. Before you go crazy.
They're not going to pay $40.
Before you go crazy, understand the argument. I'm saying that the people that would have paid the $10 may have paid the $40. That's what I'm saying. The people that would have done it, not the ones that weren't going to do it. Understand what the argument is. I'm saying those that were interested in paying $10 may have paid $40. That's what I'm saying.
The only reason why they would pay the $10 because it's $10. That's why they would pay it.
Because they're interested in the game. That's what it has to take. They have to be interested first.
Stop it.
Okay? I'm talking about interest first. If you're not interested in the game, you're not going to pay anything regardless.
But they had the game for years and they weren't interested. Just like you said, so why would they be interested now?
That's the question for you. So if you think they can exist, then my people can exist.
So you get what? So the $40 you just said. Listen.
No, if the person that can be interested in $10, that person can be interested in $40.
If the person has the PlayStation Plus. And you're saying they're not going to be interested in $10.
People are saying it's $50. It's $50.
It's $50.
$50? Nah, forget about that. You're right. $50. Nah, fuck that. At 15, no one's buying that shit. Are you kidding?
Let me check. Yeah, it's $49.99. It's $50. Hell nah.
Forget about it. Forget about it. We're not arguing over that.
I was just about to tell y'all that.
Yo, Prince, why did you say something? I thought it was 40.
I knew that this argument ages ago.
Prince is like looking like he's on the bottom of the screen. He's looking up like, where the fuck did they get
this fucking
$40 from? Like, what are they? And me and him, $40, $10. And Prince is like,
$6? Is it like
Prince
what the fuck?
Like are they talking pesos?
I'm gonna have to hit Sony up for a $10
exactly. Do you hear them for $10? Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Yo, Prince is like, are they talking pesos or something, or maybe pounds? It's 40 pounds?
No, Swiss dollars, Swiss francs. They're talking about Swiss francs. You know, just like, oh yeah, shit.
The whole chat. I'm not even paying attention to the chat. He's like, it's 50, y'all. Not 40. Everybody, the whole chat is telling us it's 50. Stop saying 40.
Yeah, nah, 50. There's no argument. You should make it $10 upgrade. Like Jesus Christ. No one's gonna pay at 50. Are you serious? Like, no. You know what? No, you know what? Split it. Make it a $20 upgrade if you got it for PlayStation Plus. That way, the people that bought it still get something, and then the people that got it to PlayStation Plus, they get the cheaper thing. But $50, fuck that.
You ain't paying $50 for this. You might as well give it for $10 to them dudes.
Right, nah, you kidding? No. If you had access to the game for years, and I'm like, hey, here's a new version for $50, nigga, what? Nah, you're joking.
Yo, Rock, you got your lost soul aside, brother. A1.
Okay, can we just say $50 is a ridiculous price, even for the people that never touched Days Gone and never had access to it. It's like a 10-year-old game or some shit. No, okay, it's 2019, isn't it?
Yeah, 2019.
Okay?
6 years.
6-year-old game. For $50, nah, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Hey, it's worse.
That doesn't,
Nintendo do
especially because they didn't add all that much.
Yo, once you said $50, Extreme now flipped the script. He's like, wait a minute.
No.
Cut this out.
No.
Cut this entitlement. Nah, we're not doing
this whole game. This whole remaster. Okay, remasters should not be worth more than $40. If it's a remake, 50, sure. But a remaster.
You know,
should not be more than $40.
You're right.
I'm sorry. That's ceiling. If it's a remake, you can go up to 50. But if it's a remaster at $50, it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're a fucking Xbox gamer. You should not be paying $50 for Days Gone. I'm sorry. Nah.
Yo, the switch up. Yo, Prince was like, yo, it's $50, bro. Everybody, the whole chat was telling us, like, what are y'all talking about, bro?
Listen.
I didn't want to interrupt.
Prince was like,
listen, if you are interested in Days Gone and you don't have access to PlayStation Plus or anything like that, go find a secondhand copy on eBay, pay $10 for that, right? Get physical. This is why you have physical discs, okay? Or $20 for that. Then use that to get a $10 upgrade, so you pay $30 in total max. If it's $31, don't do it. Don't do it.
You could get it even cheaper. You can get it cheaper on eBay.
Shout out to Monster Man. Monster Man said he was saying they would pay 40, but not 10. Then y'all found out 50. That 50, that extra $10.
No, that 50 that kills the argument. That deads it.
That's a whole different bracket.
Argument.
That's a whole new bracket. That's a whole new bracket now. That's not the same.
That's like saying you're paying $100,000 for a Toyota. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what it is. We're not doing it. You could come up with the most amazing Toyota. You put it at $100,000, and it's like, I'm not buying it. I don't care what it does. It could cook me breakfast. I'm not doing it.
Oh, I'm dying. That was for you. Trucknet says 2019 Days Gone Remaster is $50. Where's the upgrade? For people who already own it, you just got to pay $10 to get the PS5 version. That's the $10 upgrade. But yo, I'm dying. Oh my god. And you're right, Prince. We're finally getting Lost Soul Aside in May.
Lost Soul, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, that state of play was pretty good though. I like it.
It was good. All right. You say you wanted to talk a small topic, Extreme? There was a small topic.
It was my South of Midnight, man. I'm disappointed by the previews. Like I
haven't seen the previews. This is like, what are they saying?
Dude, not good. Combat, not good. Exploration, not good. Story, not great. They're telling me that. And this is from fucking Destin and the other Xbox shields.
Just the Xbox guys saying.
They are saying not good.
No way, bro.
If they are saying not good.
I hear broomstick.
I'm not saying that. Listen, I don't trust them as gamers. I don't trust them. But listen.
He said broomstick.
Listen.
Yo, Prince,
anything Xbox, that guy said.
You a clown, dude. My man said, I heard broomstick. I'm done. Fucking boobs. Yo, you funny.
Listen.
This dude said.
Yeah, here's my thing. All right. If these people, I don't trust them as gamers, so I'm not going to take their word for it. That's why I was saying that I now have to go and play it when it releases on day 6. Because they don't do day and date on Game Pass anymore. I will play it on my fucking PC. Yeah. But I have to try it now because I was saving it. for PlayStation 5.
But now
I was
that
thinking I was gonna be. Now that there's like doubt and further around it, I have to go and I will report back. Remember, I did this for Hellblade 2. Yeah. I was one of the first people to tell you that game was trash. Yeah. Way before it became popular for people to say.
I'll wait till it gets a physical disc version on PS5 because Xbox don't do disc no more. I don't know why.
Yeah, and physical is the best.
You want that disc?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's 40.
Can you believe that, Porto? Can you believe this shit?
I don't know. Hey, I'm gonna put it this way. Well, generally the reception for Forspoken was true, but I enjoyed it. So South of Midnight looks good to me.
That's what I'm saying. I have to play it. That's why I have to play it now.
I'll still play it.
You know what it's like to me?
I would say back to back, Avowed. Decent reviews, pretty much.
Disavowed, Jesus Christ! Nah, we all know what's going on. Disavowed. It's the same thing as Starfield.
This is the thing.
Starfield was like what, an 83, and then look what happened. Look what happened to it.
I'll say this: what is it about Xbox that during their presentations and showcases, look at all these games, but when they release, it's like people are like,
do you know what it's like? It's like that product.
It's like
that's
at
going
best.
To clean the teeth.
It's like at best. At best, like it's just something about Xbox that they just can't. They can't. You know what I'm saying? They can't finish. You know what I mean? Like they have the show,
they can't land it. They can't stick the landing.
Deliver the goatee. Make people say, "Yo, this is game of the year." They don't
and right. That's embarrassing because they buying third-party companies. So
look, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I still gonna. South of Midnight still looks great, so I say definitely play it. I mean,
do you know what Xbox games are like? They're like that.
Or maybe
magic
they're trying to do that
pill.
woke bullshit. Did they mention anything?
They're like that magic pill that promises you that is going to make you fix everything about your life. And then they're like, oh yeah, potential side effects include the loss of smell, hallucinations, nerve damage, memory loss.
You could go into a coma.
And all these things, exactly. They're like potential, small experiences with death. Potential resurrection.
Potential suicide, potential, self-deletion ideation.
Suicidal tendencies.
How does medicine make you want to end yourself? Like, hey, you got bad sinuses, take fluorescent. Oh, warning, it may you end yourself. I'll stick with the sinus. I'll deal with the sinus then. Like, what are we talking about? It's not that bad.
Yep. And then like potential birth defects through not your child, but through temporal shift. You may actually go back in time and find out you were autistic the whole time.
Day and day on PlayStation.
Like, what is going on here? But
anyway,
listen, I don't know.
Xbox, come on, get your shit together, man. South of Midnight is not the one to win, okay? South of Midnight is literally being the one that I put my bet on, and I feel dumb. I feel like I blindsided myself. Like I forgot who was making it, but it just looks so good that I was like, nah, it can't be this.
Does
like
look
this
good,
one has to be good.
From the previews,
you don't see any.
It looks good.
You don't see any Xbox game being Game of the Year, or at least a nominee
this year.
Listen, South of Midnight was my Xbox like showing for Game of the Year. It was that and Doom.
Arrival, though.
Those two were the ones that I'm like, these ones are going to be the ones to make a big impact at the Game Awards and everything. And I think Doom will be fine, but I thought South of Midnight was going to be great until about 3 days ago. Listen, when you watch Destin, be like, yeah, I don't know about this one, guys. That's alarm bells. That's
great.
That's an alarm bell.
I would say this, because Microsoft, now we're finally see the games, since, they bought all these. Remember, these are studios that they bought last gen in 2018. Now they're finally making their actual games and stuff like that.
That's like Elon Musk saying that this person is too much of a Nazi sympathizer. Like if Elon Musk says that about someone, if Elon Musk is like, this person loves Nazis too much, you're like, should be jailed.
That's a good.
Should be kept away from the children.
I'm just saying, Microsoft, because
they've Guantanamo Bay and kept away from the other inmates.
Listen, they've been out of the loop on single player games for so long. I think they're gonna have to go through their They're gonna have to take their licks.
Not with South for midnight, but we all just sacrificed disavowed.
Yeah, but Rock, for how long? Nobody buying these games.
Listen, dog.
These games don't sell.
You ain't gotta buy You ain't gotta buy Xbox. All right, you good.
Yo, Porto.
All right. Your PlayStation's an Xbox.
We still need sacred things. You know, some things must stay sacred. The Constitution for you, for Americans, your right to murder children. You know, every 3 to 5 weeks. You know, and a mass shooting at school. You know, gun laws or the right to bear arms. You know, that's what you guys call it. That's so funny. But yeah, anyways, what else must be sacred? You know, the right for Australians to do bad breakdancing at the Olympics. You know you want to see that again.
Yes,
you want to see that again.
I actually do. That shit was just too. This day, that's probably the most memorable moment that I will always remember from the Olympics.
I have refused to watch that thing the whole time. I never watched it to the end.
Oh, you
never seen it. The shame I feel. The shame I feel.
It was funny.
Nah, it was funny if you're not involved.
At first, I thought it was a comedy skit. I'm like, is this a comedy skit? But no, this is the actual tournament.
Do you know what I would have loved though?
You're right.
Be in the audience.
I never seen an event get canceled so fast. Like they introduce it and then they say, "Yep, we never doing this again."
With this.
Like we're done. I never seen an event get canceled so fast. They're like, that thing was already canceled. It wasn't even over. So those guys, the breakers that got the gold medal, you're going to be the only ones ever
to have a gold medal in Olympics. True, though.
You will never see another gold medal in breakdancing, ever. Those gold medals are going to be worth trillions of how rare those medals are.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, man.
That's
crazy. In fact, I feel like she fucked up the price of those medals because it's forever going to be attached to her. Because I don't know who won. I've never seen the performance of the person who won.
I know, nobody paid attention. Everybody gave up. Nobody watched.
I've never seen a moment where a person literally wins and they're never talked about. Like, does anyone know who won?
I don't know who actually won.
Has anyone seen the performance that won?
I know.
Like
after
that,
I'm like, remember that the disrespect.
Like, it's a bit like the Grammys where who was it? Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Like I don't know what has happened on that night. I don't know who won the Emmys that night or the Grammys or whoever the fuck. I don't even know where they were.
He won Best Actor.
I don't even know where they were. I just know that this slap happened and that's the only thing that mattered.
Boy, he slapped the shit out of him, boy. I was like,
I thought that was fake at first. I thought that was set up.
I thought that was like a skit. I'm like, yo, these guys are really doing it. But when the man said, "Keep my wife's name out your effing mouth," I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm like, this is not a skit, boy. This is not a skit, boy. And then what's so funny is when they presented the award, like they showed Chris Rock, like he was still nervous, like he's still trying to process, like what the fuck, like what just happened, like yo.
Right, you know, Will Smith didn't really want to slap homeboy though. He looked at Jada and Jada was like, "You better do something."
Like Tupac would not let yo. I don't know, man. I like wow, boy. Anyway, I don't know how we started talking about this, but anyway, I think that's it. We just went through the show, man. Thank you so much. We'll do our outros, but in the end, you should have done the $10 upgrade to the PS Plus users because $50.
Yeah, $50 is ridiculous. $50. $50.
You've been arguing $40 for like an hour in the chat. Like,
you could be buying indie games.
Chat is like, this is the slowest podcast crew we have ever seen. It's $50. Hey, we love you, chat. Thank you so much for putting us on point. But hey, Extreme, let them know.
Yo, I feel like there's more topics, but I can't be bothered. You know, I don't remember anything. So if there's anything else in the chat, you'll put it there.
That $50 just took it out everything. Of me. He's like, wait a minute, what the hell?
That's a wrap.
Nah, $50 is a wrap. We're closing that. We're closing that shop down.
No days gone too. It's over. That's it.
Listen, it's like having a hot dog for $15. You're like, what? I don't care what's in it. Like, I don't care what's in there. Hot dog doesn't cost $15, boy. Like, nah, I don't care. You can stuff it up with like liquid gold if you want. I'm not paying $15 for fucking hot dog.
He's like, I don't care if by buying that hot dog you solve world hunger. The world's gonna stay hungry. The world is gonna stay hungry.
Those children gonna starve. Those children gonna starve. I'm gonna have this shit for $2. The fuck?
Man.
The only one paying $50 for a hot dog is if every single time I chew, like Elon Musk get hit in the balls. Just whack. Every time. Just whack. Every time you just chew.
Well, we
whack
got the
in the
Elon
balls.
Heat.
Just
we
that's
got
it.
the Elon heat. Oh man.
Yeah,
hey,
it's gonna be an elongated segment. Let me tell you, it's gonna be recurring. You know, there we go.
What's going on, Prince, man?
Hey man, chilling, man. But Xbox, please stop asking me about a PlayStation roadmap. We have a current map. It's not a roadmap. I don't need to know what's coming out 2030.
No, you didn't get the word. You didn't get the word. You didn't get the word. Their roadmap is our roadmap.
Oh, there you go.
So when they tell you what's your roadmap, it's your roadmap. Your roadmap is my roadmap.
They didn't even play half of the games that came out, and it's still worried about.
I'm gonna do. You ever seen Mighty Key's new video? You gotta check Mighty Key's new video. It's just 2 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta check it out.
Hilarious.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna just use that. Well, what about the Castle Studio? Don't worry about that. What about no first party? Don't worry about that. I'm gonna use his life. Don't worry about that. Your roadmap is my roadmap. That's all I'm gonna say. Where's the PlayStation roadmap? And I'm just gonna show him a picture of Xbox. Here you go. Anyway, so to close out the report card, we're gonna end the poll right here. Jim Ryan report card, and it is. Here we go. It's gonna pop up. Oh shit! It disappeared. Where is it? Where'd it go? I closed it out. Oh, Jim Ryan, he hit it.
It was 33% was D, 28% C, 25% B, 12% A. Meaning that you are in the minority.
How am I in the minority? Hold on.
You're only 32% of the entire poll thought that they were dog shit.
Hold up. That's 33%.
Yeah, that's a minority. That means 77% thought he was better than dog shit.
Get out of here. We're not doing that.
That's why we're reading that. That's why we're reading that stat.
This guy took CB&A and combined it. Get out of here.
That's the way we're reading that stat. That means that 77% agree he's not dog shit.
Okay.
That's my people.
See, the C
that's
is
my people there.
The people are C is like, he's not dog shit, but he's poop.
Actually, there's 67% again.
Okay.
There's 67%. I got my thing right. I wanted the symmetry. I wanted 77. That sounded better. But the point is, 66% agree. And 67 doesn't matter. The point is, he's great.
The A and B guys are on crack. You on crack, especially A?
Nah.
That's bias. That is some bias.
Nah,
A?
I did A just to be opposite.
A.
I did A just to be contrarian.
You are
just to be contrarian. Just to be contrarian. I knew it. I was like, I'm gonna be a contrarian here.
There is no way.
That's 12% of us. We're just here to create chaos. We know it's not an A. We know it. We know it. We all know it's not an A.
If we look at a scale, D minus and dog shit. That's where he's in the middle.
Actually, you know what it is?
D minus
37%. Because other people that voted A were just doing it because they thought it was B, but they wanted to be contrarian like me. Okay, so that's 37% of people that think he's a B, which means I win.
I think
because it's higher than 33.
No. Everybody, anything higher than a C is crackish.
Oh, by the way, did you see the reviews for Disavowed from people that are not Xbox Mondo?
Yeah, there's some people are not. Yeah.
Hey, people.
But it's not that bad, though. It's not that bad.
You owe me.
No, it's not that bad.
No. Hey, you know what? I'm going to send you a link. You know what?
Give me the link.
It is worse.
Let me see Metacritic. I'm going to use Metacritic.
Metacritic, you can't trust them because... No. Half of them have Xbox in the name, bro. You can't trust them.
That's like every game, though. Every game has that. You know how many PlayStation-centric sites are there?
But they get filtered out by the 90 other sites that review and don't have PlayStation in the name.
Let me see.
Here's the thing. On Xbox, there's like 20 Xbox titled sites, and then there's like 5.
All right, let's look at the ones who gave it 100. All right, let's see the ones who gave it the worst reviews. We'll start there. Let me go down. Okay, the worst review is 60 by The Enemy, 60 Eurogamer Portugal, 60 The Guardian, 60 Radio Times, 60 The Gamer, Metro Game Central, Eurogamer Poland, Jaux Video, CD Action. IGN gave it a 70. Xbox Tower gave it a 73.
To everything. If something is shit,
I noticed that. That's not their fault.
7 out of 10.
Let me see the 80 people. 80 is Comic Book, Gaming Bolt, IGN Spain, Digital Spy, Gaming Nexus, Merit Station, Game Spew, ZTGD, Windows Central, Twinfinite, Tech Radar, VGC, Pure Xbox, 4P.de, Player 2, Hobby Consolas, that's probably Spain, Spazio Games. I think 80 is fine. Let's see the ones who gave it 100. Let's give it 100. These are the frauds. VG 247, 100. The Sydney Morning Herald, Australia.
That's where the breakdancer came from. If you didn't know, she's Sydney based. She's actually not like.
But why though? Gave it a 95. But why though? Checkpoint Gaming 95. Somos Xbox. Oh, that's the Brazilian one. Oh, they are hardcore Xbox. Mando Xbox 93. Digital Trends a 90. I don't know. It's probably fine at 80.
I'm telling you, boy, it's not a real 80 score. But you'll see. Go ahead and check out the link. Let's see what real gamers say. Okay?
Put in a message.
None of these people that we don't know about. Who the fuck is Jack's Video? Like, who is supporting Jack's Video?
Jacques, that's France. That's your favorite people.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, who's supporting that?
The Jacques. France. All right, let's see what they say. Okay. Oh, man. Oh, I know this video.
So, I don't know.
Man. Here we go. Oh, boy. You're going to get me in trouble.
Like, I think this one is going to struggle a little bit, to be honest with you. I've definitely spoken to some other reviewers who are on a similar page to us, which is like, it's not bad, but it's also not good. I think my advice to people with this one, I'm nearly completed, right? I nearly completed it. I think if you play through the first zone, you've seen enough at that point. Like you really have seen enough because you've seen how the combat works. You've explored what I think is the best zone in the game. I think it's the most interesting and fun to get through. You've learned all the systems. You've met the best character in Kai, your companion. I think it's okay to step off at that point. I don't know that there's really much more reason to keep going. But if you do want something that you can just play while you're chilling out and listening to a podcast, yeah, you can do that with this game. But again, that was never what we wanted from Avowed, and I think for that reason it is disappointing.
You can also play Eternal Strands instead. Not that I've played it. It might be great.
I understand what you mean.
Eternal Strands is actually really good.
But that's a good point, and there are a lot of other games. And the whole time I was playing this, I was thinking to myself, man, I wish I was playing Kingdom Come right now. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Oh, man. See, you starting some shit. We were not supposed to end the show. We were supposed to end the show in a positive light.
No. We need to end the show with truth energy.
I'm trying to be a wholesome podcast.
No. We need the truth.
Listen,
we need the truth.
These are not Xbox games. These are PlayStation games now. So the Xbox tax, we got to cut it out. These are our games.
That's
now.
Exactly why we need the PlayStation people to
These
have
are our
the truth
games now. Okay.
No.
To us now.
We judge them fairly. We judge them fairly.
No, we got with kind gloves.
By the way,
they're children.
When a white person says it's not bad, but it's also not good, that's not the person that brings out the cabbage casserole at the meet and greet. Like, bro.
This guy, bro. This
okay.
We're done. We're done.
And then that she put a lot of mustard greens in there because those are racist. We're not doing that. We've been through this in a previous podcast.
Listen, we're not attacking white people on this podcast. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that. In this green bean casserole, not cabbage.
I was translating.
It's green bean casserole, not cabbage casserole.
I was translating.
That's what they make in Australia. Cabbage casserole.
Not bad, but not
what
good.
What the hell's a cabbage casserole?
Cabbage.
What's a cabbage casserole?
Imagine a casserole made of cabbage.
They do that in Australia?
No, they don't. Hey, they have good taste.
Hey, yo, Prince. You know what they... What? Hey, what's the name of the sneaker brand?
What? Which one? Nike?
No. Here, you know. Adidas. Adidas. They call it Adidas.
No, what do you mean they call it Adidas?
They as a you, Australia. They are down under. When he told me, he goes, Extreme goes, I went in a sneaker store. He says, I went in a sneaker store with the Adidas. I'm like, wait a minute, what? What did he say? Like, did I hear him
What
wrong?
do you mean?
I'm like,
thought it's ice cream.
He said, Adidas. Yeah. I said, I don't know what he's talking about. Like Adidas.
Listen.
Adidas? What are we talking
Adidas,
about?
Okay.
It's Adidas.
Porsche.
Adidas.
And it's what's another one? Nike.
Adidas.
Okay? Not Nike. It's Nike.
It's Nike. Yeah, it is Nike.
Yeah. Okay. Good. We agree on that one.
What do you mean? Good? We agree. No. It's Nike. It's goddamn right.
No.
Listen, these are American companies. We set the standard. Adidas, not Adidas. Adidas.
Adidas is an American.
Is it not American? It's American now because we said it. Let me see. It's my Adidas.
Right. Got a question before we head up out.
All right.
On your show that you do, where you have your guests, it's Fridays, right? You do your podcast where you have the guests come on every Friday.
Okay.
You think you
It's
can
named
get
after Adidas?
What? I would?
Boomstick. I think you and Boomstick would be that'd be must see TV.
I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. I will invite everyone unless they're like, racist or some weird shit, right? If it's just gaming and that's it, everyone's welcome and stuff like that.
Right.
But all the extreme weirdos, I'm staying away from them. But Boomstick, Colt, anybody's welcome. It's just whether they actually come though. It's just whether they actually come.
True that.
But that's why I do it the live because I can't bring them to 60 frames, don't lag, because they know Extreme's there. And he'll go head hunting. He'll go head hunting. You go head hunting. So I think you go head hunting. Brother man, brother, let me tell you, so it's funny. I love it, but let's be honest. What you did with Gaz, I died laughing because Gaz was talking and then Extreme's like, hold on. You're so boring. Like, he didn't even talk gaming. He just said he's boring. Like, he got off the gaming topic. He's like, you said a lot of stuff and it's just boring. And then the conversation became about him being boring. I'm like, oh, shit. Literally, he just said, you're boring. You're boring me. You make boring points. None of your thing is engaging. You're just boring. I'm like, what?
Listen, see, the thing is, you can bring that up. And then Gas keep getting mad at me for you bringing that moment up. I never bring that moment up, okay? And then he's mad at me on Twitter because he's never gotten over it, okay? You notice that? This guy has never gotten over that moment.
He must be in his feels, boy.
Jesus Christ.
Look at that came out of the blue. I thought she was going to counter.
He brings it back up.
Extreme didn't even count any of those points. He's just like, man, all your points are boring. Like, not even worth it. It's like, I'm about to fall asleep. Like, let's come up with something new. I'm like, wow, bro. I'm never going to get a new guest up in here.
Listen. I promise, okay, people, listen. If you are a boomstick or a fucking Aaron in the chat or a trucknet or
I know you're going to go at them. I know you want them.
No.
Because you're going at them. You're going, I know.
New year, new me. New year, new me. You can trust my words. Don't verify. Okay? You can trust my words. Okay? Listen, we've got a new administration in the US, okay? So just it's a new energy.
It's all about the free speech.
Exactly. I want you to come. I want you to come see what happens. You'll see. You'll love it.
You love it.
Yo, this is your only friend, is you two streets, Rock77. And thank you so much for coming through. I hope you enjoyed the show. And I think we could all agree that
Adidas
Jim
is
Wright
German.
is dog
you
shit.
Say Adidas. You say
It is
Adidas.
Adidas. You saw the song. I put the song up.
No. Listen, it's Adi Dassler.